Oh, yeah, we are back for another Toss One Back Thursday. It's almost a weekend. God, I feel great because the weekend felt like it flew through. Having back-to-back full weeks at work, I ain't used to that. I am
I was gonna
not
say,
used to I was
probably
working brother to the
exhausted.
bone. Yeah, but guess what? It's a 3-day weekend up in here. So with
Yeah,
President's Day, man, President's Day.
yeah, same here. We're off
Yeah.
Monday too.
So that works out well. Very, 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 very well. But good to see you again, my friend. 2 weeks in a row. February's been a month back on track. Hopefully you and the old lady had a nice Valentine's Day weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. We didn't do anything, but it was nice.
Yeah, we went out to one of the Baltimore restaurants, a little seafood action on Saturday for a little lunch. Woo.
There
It's
you go.
tasty. The Baltimore seafood, I'm a fan. I'm just going to say, I'm getting into it real quick. It'll cost you some dollars, but it's good.
Nice and fresh.
Yeah. That's
Nice
some
and
really
fresh.
good stuff. So,
Can't beat that. Hell, we didn't even. What did we do? When was that? That was Monday, wasn't it?
yeah, Monday was Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't really do anything. We went up to the local brewery here, and I played in a cornhole tournament. She sat at the bar and talked to one of the bartenders that we've become really good friends with, and she bullshitted with her for the night. And
I would say
through cornhole.
Cornhole on Valentine's Day can go so many different directions. But,
Yeah.
It is what it is. Erie in the house. Cheers, Erie.
What's up, Erie? But she always says Valentine's Day is so stupid. I was like, okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah, cornhole on V-Day, right? VD. Cornhole on VD. Yeah. I asked her Monday, I was like, are you okay? Did you what anything? And she's like, oh no, I thought we just did Saturday for lunch or whatever. I was like, oh, that's cool for me. So
See, there you go.
yeah, it was pretty good. So I actually just grabbed some stuff early tonight. Trying to find parking around a city like this is kind of crazy. I had to drive out to Whole Foods and just grab some stuff off their not off their bar, but right next to the bar, stuff they would put on the bar, and it was good. So, but Whole Food costs you a whole check if you're not careful. So
yeah, I bet.
But speaking of whole check, I picked up a couple surprises today. So
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to drink them tonight, but I'm going to share. I happened to go to a store, and I was like, not that I need more beer, but I'm like, what beer can I break out tonight on the show that I want to drink? So I ended up picking up one, and it's Candy Belgian Triple from Fordham and Dominion Brewing. They are actually out of Delaware. So I'm going to be sharing this beer here in a second. It is a triple that comes in at, I believe it was 10% ABV. So Saz and Hallertau hops are what's used here. Yeah, 10% ABV. But then I'm there at the counter, and I turn to the right, and I'm like, what is that I see?
Bourbon County. No?
Bourbon County. This is the Cola Stout.
Oh, okay.
See, the camera picks it
So
up.
it's one of the new variants of this.
Yeah, that's the
year.
one. That's just sitting out there on the shelves. Because again, it's all a matter of where you're at and what you're seeing, right? So saw that there, and then.
So was it an actual liquor store you was at?
Yeah, it was one of the liquor stores.
Oh, okay.
Because nobody likes to be alone. Also got the Bourbon County Cherrywood.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is the Cherrywood. So how much you think these were? I know you're used to thinking a Rajay deal. It's not a Rajay deal. I'll just tell you that right now.
Well, that's what I was trying to think. Because I think I actually did get both of those. I'm trying to think what those actually were. $16.99, $15.99. I don't remember.
Well, if you got them that low, you got a Rajay deal for sure.
Maybe they were $19.99. I don't know.
No.
Well, I don't remember what those were. They seem like they are a lot more this year than they usually are.
Yeah, the Cola Stout, which most of the Cola Stouts I've seen was probably around $24.99.
Oh, okay.
So this one here was $29.99.
Oh, okay.
And then,
yeah, when I got on mine on Black Friday, it was just one price, so I didn't know what each individual price was, except for some of the big ones.
Yeah, well, the various ones were more, and then
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cherry wood was actually $24.99.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, what are you gonna do, right? So yeah, but
What's
I knew they were more of the costlier versions from last year because the other ones they had, like the proprietaries, around $17.99 or something like that, and a couple of other ones were down around the 16 to 18 level, depending where you got it at. So
right? Okay. Yeah, I couldn't
Gilbert
remember
said,
what they were. I thought they were a little more than that, but I wasn't sure.
Gilbert said, "Cheers from Truckerland fools." They broke up the truckers. I thought they broke the truckers up now. That they ended all of that.
Who knows?
No such thing as parking in the East Coast city, son. Right? Yeah. When you're in the actual city, good luck finding parking. Erie said, I was typing Rod J deal as you said. Yeah, no Rod J deal here. So wait, what? How much? Yeah, $24.99 to $29.99, which isn't uncommon for this. If you're in a secondary market, it can get up to the 50s and 60s for some of
Oh
these
yeah.
after a point too. So yeah. And I want to see Erie's thrown back by it. She's like, "Did it come with dinner?" Like, no, this is
Reach around a little rub of tongue.
this is what some of the bourbon counties are going for. So the brand cherry wood stout, 14.2 ABV, and the cola stout, is it 14? Yeah, 14.0.
So how was that store as far as selection size and stuff goes? Well, that's the cool thing though with you being there now is all the stuff's going to be new for you, really, for the most part.
Yeah, some of it. I mean, this store here it was called Discount Liquors too, which is almost like a setup when they call it Discount Liquors, but they had some of the beer prices that were actually not bad, like some of the Sierra Nevadas. They're like $9.99, which if we're in Kentucky or like where you're down by Louisville, you could probably get them for $8.99. So
Yeah.
kind of coming out. Some of the Dogfish Heads were down around $9.99 as well. But they had some of the 4 packs and 6 packs, some of the craft beer. Probably you're looking at between 11 to 14.99 on some of the stuff here. So a little bit higher price point on some of that stuff.
So does like Trillium or Treehouse or anything reach you there? Do you know?
Well, funny you should say that. Not Trillium or Treehouse, but I now have a store where I can get other half.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of reaching further out too now. It seems.
And not only other half in a can, but I get other half on draft. So I got a
Ooh,
crowler of some other half beer that I'm going to drink this weekend, do a review on. But yeah,
nice.
so that's one of my places near me that I put down as a good spot. That's when I put the pictures I think up on Instagram from
Oh yeah, yeah.
Lighthouse, yeah. And then, but the place I went to today, it was kind of like your little. You would think like outside, like your little just regular liquor type store, like I think like when you've been up here, like in Indiana, like if I was going to Lawrenceburg or something like that, like one of those little stores out there. But they had some decent stuff in there. So I've been to a couple of the corner store type spots, not really too much there, but I'm kind of getting a look on the different stores and a couple more spots I need to check out. But I'm finding some groove. I'm finding some that are like, okay, if I go here, I can get this for that. If I go here, I get this for that. So
There you go.
but occasionally you're going to pay up for some of the stuff. So yeah, the other half I got was 19.2 ounce crowler, and it was $6.99.
Yeah,
But then the other one was $8.99. They had so they had decent draft prices on it.
yeah,
Um,
that's pretty good.
yeah, but if I got like the 4 packs were like 20, I think. So, but for
There
getting
you
other
go.
half is so you will be seeing more other half coming to the channel at some point here for sure.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that.
But I just got so many other beers. So ha ha ha, beer patrol. I can get other half now. I pulled the trigger, right? Yeah. I couldn't afford to look at that beer. Oh, you can like this is
All
like
right, I might have to jump out for a second because my damn phone's acting up, which I was
okay.
afraid of. I'll be
All
back.
right. Yeah, it's a nice one. We'll go to the collection. I have probably like 7 or 8 more bourbon counties in there at least that I haven't drank yet. So got some time. What is up, Big Daddy? Cheers, homie. Sipping a Hot Butcher Blaze Green Relish. Nice. place near me selling 4-packs of worldwide style for $14.99. Crazy. That's some Rod J deal right there. I heard about the Blaze Green Relish, so I'm kind of interested in checking that out. Although I haven't had the Blaze, I've had the Green Relish before, but the Blaze Orange I've wanted to check out at some point. Which Big Daddy, I forgot to mention last week, go ahead and message me your address so I can get you some stuff sent up. Now I got some good spots down here. I can get you some stuff as well. Truckers of Ottawa and Ambassador Brisbane, there's still protests going. Yeah, I saw there was some that were still kind of going in spots, but I think the major highways have been cleared. But I don't know. Don't try to be like us in Canada. Don't try to be like America. Just let it go. Let it go. Although I will say the Canadian protests versus the American protests, they're so much more nicer. It's like the police come in, they ask you to move, and people just move and okay, we're going to have to arrest you. And they're like, okay, well, I guess you're going to have to arrest me. And they're all calm and they're all patient. They put their hands back there and they arrest some people. It's all like a friendly type thing. Nobody's getting hit with a nightstick that I saw. No one's getting beanbagged up in Canada. Everybody's just like, okay, you got me. Let's go to jail. So you guys are even nicer when you're getting arrested. Jimmy Jazz in the house. What is going on? Cheers, my friend. Yeah, well, I've moved. So now I am actually in Baltimore, and my background I just put up there for the Toss One Back Thursday screen. And then I'm not putting anything up on the walls because I'll probably be moving again within 6 months or so. So this is kind of like a spot till we find a spot we want to go into. And after packing last time, I damn sure don't want to pack again. So I'm going to try to not put stuff there. I might put something back there leaning against a window or something. But yeah, that's outside looking downtown Baltimore. Wayne in the house. Cheers, Wayne. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for that. Thank you. Great to be back as well. And came back last week with a Toss One Back. And Todd's actually going through some technical difficulty right now, but he'll pop back on in a second. And it feels good. It feels good to be back and doing some of these. And going to be doing some other stuff with the channel going forward, and going to do some more live type sessions. So Wayne, I'm going to reach out to you. I know because I want to get you up here to spotlight your channel as well. You and Dave, I want to reach out to, and a few of the other guys to try to share your guys' spotlight because you guys are doing some great stuff out there in the beer community as well. In fact, I meant to reach out to Brian earlier too. So stay tuned. Definitely like to have you guys up here for the Spotlight series. Cheers, everyone in chat from Wayne. If y'all haven't checked out Wayne's Beer Delivery, check him out and check out his podcast. So he got a podcast they do as well, talking about beer. So some good stuff for sure, as he is down in Carolina. Canadians nicer? Oh, Canadians are definitely nicer than Americans. Are you kidding me? At least as far as I know. When I went to Toronto, they were very nice when I was up there. So I think Toronto's the only spot that I've been to in Canada as of yet. I wouldn't mind going back up again now. But not into winter. It is too cold. Great Lakes Octopus wants to flight IPA and Wild Turkey 101. I like it. You got the mix going, Gilbert. I like it. I like it a lot. Like Dumb and Dumber. I like it a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and crack open this Belgian Triple. For those of you that didn't see that just got here, this is Candy Belgian Triple, 10% ABV. It is right there from Fordham and Dominion Brewing Company out of Delaware. It was part of a 6-pack I just grabbed earlier to enjoy tonight. I do have another bigger beer here too, but figured I'd do this first. But it's going to be pretty much a Belgian night for me here. And hopefully some of you guys are having a 3-day weekend as well. Although my 3-day weekend is Monday, so it's not like I don't work tomorrow. I can't get too hammered. But nice, deep, golden, yellow, orange type color to the beer. Nice feel on the nose. Get that clove type sensation. A little bit of a spice in there. I mean, nose-wise is pretty much right there to what a Belgian Triple which is kind of funny seeing American breweries now do a lot more of these for what the Belgians have been doing over there for the longest time. Tell you what, for a 10% ABV, it is pretty smooth. You get a little bit of the clove in the taste. You get a little bit of a candied sugar in the taste. But it goes down real easy. Like a 6-pack of these at 10% ABV, some people will be putting their ass for sure.
All right, Jesus Christ. Let's see if this works.
Carbonation is not bad. Carbonation, a little temper. You got a little bit of an orange peel type feel to it. You could put the orange peel on, although I don't fruit my beers, but it's already got that in it too. So it's not bad. On the back end, a little bit of a nice, I wouldn't say it's a full salinity to it, but you definitely get a little bit of a feel that's kind of salt-like there. It might be with that spice they may have used in here. I would definitely say it has a little bit of that coriander feel as well. So maybe that's what is taking a part of it. But it's not bad. It's nice. It's nice. So I'll do a review on that beer at some point as well. Todd is now back in action.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. I didn't know if these headphones would work or not, so just making sure. Sweet. I should have started out with this. I knew my phone was going to do that, but I was like, I'm going to try it anyway.
See what it does. Going to give it a shot. He's going to give it a shot, people. Yeah.
Right.
Let me see here.
So what was it you was drinking?
I'm drinking the candy, the Belgian triple.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah.
So what did you just get there?
I am drinking Prairie. What was that? Corner piece.
Look at that. Oh, yeah.
I always like their artwork. It always looks cool.
Yeah, the artwork's pretty cool with Prairie.
I think this one is, let me pour it and see. I think it's like 11%, but.
Oh, going big too, eh? Double digit night.
Why not? Let's see. I think it said 11%, but they're always. It's always hard to read on their bottle sometimes. Get some more light here. Yeah, 11% ABV.
Nice.
I don't know what. This says Imperial Stout with birthday cake flavor. That's all it says. So we shall see.
What do you think of when you think of birthday cake flavor?
I usually kind of think of like usually it comes to mind for me is like funfetti or whatever. You like, like the funfetti like cake or sprinkles or whatever. That's kind of what comes to my mind when I think of birthday cake. Or, when it just says birthday cake. That's kind of what I think of.
That's what I kind of think of now. But that's more of a later type thing when you say like, I mean, when you think of that birthday cake like that, I mean, the funfetti cake became popular probably the last 15 years.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, so it's kind of like now it's kind of taken over as the birthday cake,
That's probably true. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you have a favorite cake as a kid?
Well, still till this day, I just like a yellow cake with chocolate icing.
Keep it simple, classic.
I love that's my favorite. I love that. I don't care what every time that's always what I. She used to always get on me. She's like, "You're so like plain or whatever." Now she loves it too. I was like, "See." It's like, see, you always got to be bougie like that.
Don't have to be. Did you?
So we do simple things.
Were you a kid that would lick the mixer and stuff too? Like you'd ask for the
like the spoons and stuff. Yeah,
like to mix the batter and stuff, and you get that. Yeah, that was always like a nice little treat.
If I get time, like my mom was making cookies or cakes or something like that, or that was always kind of, you just had to
just give me the batter, straight batter.
Right. Yeah, right.
That was the pre-cookie dough years. That was our cookie dough back in the day.
Yeah, the actual real deal cookie dough before they actually pre-packaged it and all that.
Right. People said hosers like to party, and it's not a big issue. Like the media is making it. Yeah, I mean, actually here in the States, the media didn't really start watching the truckers till like the second week, I think. started popping up, and people were like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Oh, that's been going on for a bit. It's just nobody's really been covering it." Erie, cheers. Wayne, have you not met Swami? Erie, you cannot base a whole group of people on one person. You can't have Swami as a spokesperson for Canada.
That could go wrong in a lot of ways.
They go wrong in a lot of ways. And he is not the spokesperson for Canada. So, no beers for me until after I pick up my son from work. Well, there you go. Always
What's up,
safety
Wayne?
first. Always responsible drinking and driving.
Wayne and anybody else I might have missed while I was having malfunctions on my end.
Yeah, Big Daddy's in the house too. So
What's up, Big Daddy?
You got EB in the house. What up, homie? Cheers, homie. EB rocking it out. I want to see some great reactions and breakdowns and commentary on things. Check out the Eclectic Beers channel. We gotta get Eclectic over 6 figures. Now, he's like the biggest one in the group, like 70,000+. Get him to 100,000.
Yeah, 6 digits.
Puts the work in. He puts the work in. Oh, Gilbert said Monday's a holiday there. What holiday is it there for Monday? I don't have my Canadian calendar in front of me. But here it's President's Day. So, which some things are closed, some aren't. I think the post office might be closed. Banks might be closed. But a lot of stores have President Day sales. So,
yeah, banks are for sure. Like I said, we're off. Even though we're not technically a bank, but we work for the bank. So,
yeah. And Todd's back. Cheers, buddy, Wayne said.
What's going on, Wayne?
Hey, B, cheers. And cheers back to Wayne. Sitting up boys basketball practice. Cheers, guys. Cheers, JV.
What's up, JV? Tell you what, this thing smells just like it's got the vanilla, like the cream flavoring or smell to it.
Yeah.
Definitely big vanilla, which I guess would make sense being what they're calling is a cake or whatever.
Yeah.
Smells sweet.
Well, we know Prey knows how to get it done for sure.
It's nice. That's tasty. It's got some sweetness to it, but it's not overly sweet where you don't want to. Like I think I'll be able to drink this bottle, I think, and not be too sickening sweet.
Yeah.
You know, like some of the stouts get like that where you just can't even drink them so much. They're so sweet.
If it wasn't a bomber, do you think it'd be too much?
Yeah, bomber might be too much. I mean, a 12-ounce bottle's probably fine, but yeah, I think more than that. I don't know if I'd want to go more than that. Not at one sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Or all at once. I don't know if maybe you drink one now and then not now because of the time, but if you started off earlier, and drank one and maybe throw in 1 or 2 others and then come back to it, that's probably a possibility. We'll find out. We'll see what happens when I'm done with this one and see if it kicks in, sweetness kicks in more.
Yeah. Here he said, hey, Jeremy. B, what up, JV? Joey's in the house. Yo, yo, yo. What is up, Joey? Y'all know Joey and his channel. Check him out. Skirt Table. Every Friday night, usually, he's interviewing somebody on there. Has some really great interviews. So, some really entertaining shows. So, make sure to check him out there, too. Has someone told him that? Yeah, a lot of people don't rely on Swami to speak for Canada. He's pretty much sure. He's pretty much sure he's not the spokesperson. He's pretty much a Rodney Dangerfield. Gets no respect at all.
That's funny.
Swami is from Montreal. Those people are naturally rude. There you go. See, Gilbert? Gilbert knows. Oh, Family Day here, mind you. We don't have a Family Day.
Family Day.
It's Family Days. Everybody off, so go celebrate with your family. Funny thing our company gave us, right? So our company gave us this year, usually we get 2 designated holidays that we can use on top of our PTO days. And this year they gave us a 3rd designated holiday because of dealing with the COVID stuff. So they gave an extra day there. And then they gave an extra day for Cultural Observance Day, which nobody knows what that's really supposed to mean, except you got an extra 8 hours added to your days you can use.
What was it for?
Cultural Observance Day.
Cultural Observance Day. Okay,
And
you
it's like,
broke up just for seconds. couldn't catch what you said.
it's like
Like, okay, that's fine.
it's like, what intern came up with this title? I have no idea, but okay, it's next for 8 hours, so you use it for whatever you want to use. And then we
Right?
got like
Yeah.
4 hours of service day or whatever that we can use. So on top of everything, by the time it's all said and done, I think I had like like 40 hours I could use this year for days, which is crazy.
Nice. Yeah, can't beat
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So, and then we get that stuff during the course of the year where we get extra days added on too. So I think they're trying to keep employees happy is what it is.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
So he's like the New Yorkers of America. I mean, I wouldn't go slamming New Yorkers comparing them to Swami either. New Yorkers are cool as well, but it's just we have people that we work at, they hate calling or talking to people from New York because they're like so direct. I'm like, they're just direct. It's just they're not really being mean or anything like that. It's just how you talk in the Northeast is don't beat around the bush, spit out what you got to say type thing. So
When I was at my other job, a good portion of my a pretty good portion of my customer base was New Yorkers in Boston and from Boston area. So it was like it's straight to the point. When no BS and which I didn't. You get used to it. It's like okay, whatever.
Yeah, we've had people cry before from calls they had with people because they were getting yelled at by it's like just yell back at them. They'll respect you for it,
Right.
Don't let them run you over because they'll never stop if you let them run you over.
No. You got to cut that out instantly. And then they gain more respect for you in a weird way.
They do. It's like, sir, I'm not that one. I am not that one. You need to cut it right now. What up, Blue? Blue back in the house. Y'all know Blue Ice. Check him out too. Another homie.
Blue
doing the beer reviews. Hey, get Blue Ice on for one of the spotlights too. Let me see. What up, ST? I brought some Bud Light next. Whoa, 0 carbs, 4% so watery. I'm going to call it a seltzer. Isn't that though a seltzer though? Really? I mean, the Bud Light next. Has anybody seen the Mountain Dew alcoholic drink yet?
No, but I was he was talking about the seltzers. Bud Light has those cola seltzer pack. I was wondering if anybody's tried those. Anybody out there listening, watching? Have you seen those?
I don't have that many depressed people that watch me, Todd. Why would they try that shit?
I mean, you might.
I wonder about Big Daddy step away from the ledge right now because he's trying his Bud Light next. Step away from the ledge, sir. No, I haven't seen those as of yet.
I think there's a Coca-Cola, a Cherry Cola, like a Sprite type drink, and then maybe an orange. But they're seltzers, so they're like 6%. But when you pour them, I've just seen videos of them. When you pour them, it looks like a Coke, like it's dark black like a Coke, and then like the Sprite one or whatever, the lemon lime or whatever they call it, it's clear like a Sprite, and then the orange is obviously it's orange.
Well, that definitely sounds.
But they, from everything I've seen on them, everybody says they taste like it tastes like a Coca-Cola. So I'm kind of curious. I almost just kind of want to pick one up just to see if they're bullshitting or if it's for real.
Come back to the office for lunch. You've been drinking? No.
Yeah.
I had a few Cokes. I
had a Coke, a Cherry Coke, a Sprite, an orange. What do you want?
I'm not drunk.
But I haven't actually looked for them when I've been out, so I'm assuming we can get them here, but I don't know. I haven't looked.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what. That's one thing I saw at the corner store here. I went to. I never knew, but apparently, Still Reserve has a whole line of different flavors. It's kind of like across the bottom, there was like probably about 8 or 9 different Still Reserves, from purple to orange to green. Like, what are yeah, it's just like, why does Still Reserve have? I mean, obviously people are drinking them for whatever reason. It's like the Mad Dogs, but it's like, why? And it's like, yeah, this isn't my usual store I go to.
Give me the green one.
Yeah.
whatever it's called. Just give me the green stuff.
I grabbed some Dogfish Head and stepped out real quick. Like, yeah, this isn't my usual neighborhood. But I was surprised to see as many of the different flavors they had there. So, which if we ever do go back and do another malt liquor show, maybe at least I have a place close I can go get those.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Is that the one right next to the Gentleman's Club?
Yeah, that's the one. Right there. Yeah, next to the place that Babe Ruth bought. So
Right.
yeah, I showed the other picture where I went by the museum where I guess he was born at that house too and everything. So
That's kind of cool.
the Baltimore ties. And there's nothing wrong with Swami. Perfect Swiss and Ricana shatters that they're all nice up there. Shit, people say they are nice up there for the majority. That's what we were just talking about earlier. When they were getting all arrested by the police from the trucker thing, they were all so polite compared to what happens down here.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't see one person get beanbagged. Not even one. Nobody got a nightstick across the head. So it was like they just stood there and then put the handcuffs on and got in the car. I feel like I need to work at your company. It has moments. She says we get 2 weeks every year. Yeah, I guess a lot of places are kind of like, like what's standard? Like 2 weeks every year, like 10 days? Or it'd be a full.
Are you just talking about vacation time?
Well, see, we have everything wrapped into our PTO.
Yeah, that's the way ours is too.
But some do like vacation days or sick days or whatever. Like just PTO makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had, what the hell did I have counting vacation or counting the holidays and stuff? It was like 140 hours or something.
So you had a bunch of days as well.
Yeah. And I was gonna carry over a week from last year until we had to quarantine, so I used which I had to use it by March because it was a carryover week, but I used it.
Yeah, so if you had 140 or you had over 30 days there, so yeah, so you were
Yeah, plus we get the whatever the bank holidays, which is 3 or 4 decimal compared to the normal 8.
Yeah, like you take the regular days off, but then we off for like Christmas. we get Christmas and the day before or the day after. Well, actually, that's one of our other holidays. Is we get Christmas off.
Floating.
We use a designated holiday for the day before or day after, and then Thanksgiving. But then we have days like holidays like Thanksgiving, where the day before Thanksgiving or day after, we'll be there for a half day because the market closes early.
You're right,
So
right.
we have like half day type things that happen. Like Good Friday, the market closes early, so we get off like in a half day usually.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Like we work Good Friday. Although I took that off last year as one of my vacation days, and I put in for it and got it this year too. So
yeah, of all the day, I mean, I get all the days. So it's like it'd be hard. It gets hard to complain about the job. I'm fully remote. I get all these days that I can actually take. So it's like you have to be really, really pissed me off for me to want to have to quit the job. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
yeah, right.
even when you're frustrated to a point, you're thinking about it. You're like, yeah, but I get this, this, and this, and I can do that. I can blah blah blah. It's like, maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was in my head. So
plus you're there. Nobody breathing down your neck. Kind of do your own thing, sort of.
Yeah. I was talking to someone earlier and telling them I was fully remote. They're like, so you don't have to go in. Like, no, I said, I can't never see myself being back in office again. I freaking love being fully remote. It's not for everybody, but for me, it works great.
So is that the case for a lot of people that you worked with that went remote? Are they still working remote, or are they back in the office now?
The ones that were able to go fully remote, they did. We had one of our guys. He just called me the other day. He moved out to Seattle, so he's fully remote there. We have another guy that's out in Colorado. He's fully remote. We had somebody else up in Chicago, maybe that's remote as well. Some of the people that were there that didn't move, if they were there where the office was, they got to go to a hybrid role where they're home maybe 3 days a week and in the office 2 or vice versa. But when it was like we can go fully remote, and it was just like, why not do it? Just, if you can handle it and you can keep your mind focused and do what you need to do, it works out well.
We still have people in our office that went remote when COVID went, was going, in full blown COVID, which
Mm-hmm.
is when I started there. There's still people that work in the office that are working remotely that I've never even met yet.
Yeah.
That used to work in the office solely, but now they just
Yeah.
work from home, and it's like, okay, I mean, I know the names, but I don't know faces. They could walk through the door, and I'd be like, "Who are you?" Well, I've been working here for 30 years. Well, I've never seen you before, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are fighting going back in for a lot of companies. So that's been one of the things there that they've had to deal with in the marketplace.
But then on the flip side too, I'm wondering how many people now or companies now are letting more people work remote, and they're able to shrink their office space or whatever and save money that way too.
Yeah. Well, some of
As
them
to
are
where
making
maybe
them.
they didn't before, but now they are.
Some of them are making more come back because of the office space. They're like, we're paying for all this office space. We want people in the office. So, and,
Right?
then
Yeah.
and that's where you're
Yeah.
having some people like, well, you know what? I'm gonna find a new job, and that's why you have some people quitting some of the jobs out there too. They're able to. The employees are running a lot of the market now, so they can find other jobs, do other things, and not have to go back to the office possibly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point too, because it could
Yeah.
easily go in that
So
direction.
companies have to
Reverse.
be careful who they try to force back in. EB said Cultural Observers Day. That's the day for everyone who they missed and didn't give a month. I can't. It's whatever day it is. It was just like an extra day. So, well, I think a big thing with our company, we're trying to push more to diversity type stuff. So I think it might have been something around that as well. But in reality, everybody's like, "Oh, I get an extra day." Like, no one's going to like observe another culture. It's like, hey, you know what? I had the day off. Let me go run by the local synagogue and check things out. Let me run by.
Yeah. To see what's
Yeah,
going on.
let's go see what's going on at the local Catholic baptism today. Like nobody's going to check out all these other cultures. Really, it's just like, nice day off. So just say it. You got an extra day because nobody's going out there doing that. Or their own day. See, there's a month a day for everything. They say, as long as it's a day off from work, I'm all for it. So keep
Then no
bringing those
kidding.
days. Yeah.
I feel like they need to add more.
Yeah. Well, like some countries and some companies here are messing around with doing 4-day work days. So I'm like, I'm all for it. You can do a 4-day work day. I'm in. Well, he said, cheers to Blue. Bart's in the house. What up, Bart? Cheers, my friend. All is well
But
here.
Bart,
Hopefully you are too up in New Jersey. Oh, speaking of where you're at, Todd, are you getting like this wind? Are you under a wind
oh man,
advisory or
yeah,
what?
yeah. In fact, right before we went live, we got like a screen door kind of out back that we use. It's not broken, but it's not really usable. So we just slide it to cover like the steps down. So when we let our little bitty dog out, she can't go off the porch.
Mhm.
But anyway, it was just you could hear it knocking up. I thought maybe somebody was outside at first, and I was like, had to jump up. I was like, make sure when nobody's sneaking around. But it was, yeah, the wind it was crazy. They were
Yeah.
talking like 50, 60 mile an hour winds.
Yeah, I know people down where our home office is in Alabama, down in Birmingham. There were concerns down there around tornadoes possibly as well with the wind because it's from all the way up there up to where you guys are now.
Yeah,
It used to be.
they were saying this morning on the news on the weather. They were saying could be chances of tornado warnings or whatever
Yeah.
tonight or I think tomorrow's only supposed to be like a high in the 30s. But then after that, it's going to be right back in the 50s and 60s for the weekend. So I don't know what the deal is for one day, but
I think Mother Nature's having hot and cold flashes right now. So.
I think so. I think so.
What my do one? What? Yeah, there's a Mountain Dew got into the alcohol game, so they were making an alcoholic type thing with Mountain Dew behind it. I don't know if they're out yet, but they were heading that way.
So what kind of beer is that going to be?
It's more like a flavored malt beverage, I think.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I
I
can
don't
see
know.
like somebody doing that as like a sour or something, maybe.
Yeah, let me see if I see anything
I guess you
here.
could do it.
5% ABV hard Mountain Dew is in the works. Boozy Baja Blast is joining the Mountain Dew lineup. Billed as a fourth flavor. Alcoholic spin on the beloved Mountain Dew variety. What's it got here? Yeah, I'll pull it up here. Get back.
I guess I can see that one too as an IPA, maybe.
Yeah, so here it is here. No thanks. I don't want to sign up for food and wine. Get out of there. The Baja Blast, zero sugar. So again, going zero sugar game. 5% ABV in the wake of hard seltzer, blah, blah, blah. Even Fresca's joining. What? Get out. I didn't even know Fresco's still around. Partner with Game of Thrones on color changing cans. Now, see, there's a gimmick because people that love Game of Thrones will be on that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Despite now being available outside Taco Bell, Baja Blast is forever tied to the chain. I do like Baja Blast at Taco Bell to drink, but this will be the alcoholic version.
You know, if I were to be completely honest, I've never had it.
It's pretty tasty. So you got a black cherry, you got the watermelon, you got the base zero sugar hard, and then the Baja Blast. So the 4 different flavors. All hard Mountain Dew products will be caffeine free, which is weird because Mountain Dew, you think of
who's making it?
Caffeine. That was Mountain Dew. I mean, they teamed up.
Oh man, it is Mountain Dew is doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Somebody was just like collaborating with them or something and doing a. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Pepsi and Boston Beer announced plans to release Mountain Dew because Pepsi owns Mountain Dew. So yeah. So I guess
So I wonder if like the Taco Bells that sell alcohol will sell those.
I would think that'd be a great play for them.
Which I haven't seen any of those yet. I've never seen one. They're not around here.
Yeah,
if they are, I haven't seen them.
We have one in Cincinnati, which is a pretty cool cantina where you can get beer there or like a margarita. And they had like one of the Rheingeist beers on tap, so they did have one spot for a local craft, which was nice. So
that's cool.
Yeah, they try to make it like an upscale Taco Bell, so it's not quite the Demolition Man Taco Bell, but it's better than your raggedy sit in the parking lot Taco Bell.
Right? Yeah.
It's an in between. Brian's in the house. Cheers, Brian.
What's up, Brian? So how many breweries are within your area where you're at now? I mean, not that you've been to them all, but have you like actually searched it or anything?
I haven't started searching it yet, but I got a feel it's probably less than what I had in Cincinnati.
Oh, I'd say so.
So I'm going to say they're in the Baltimore area around here, from what I've seen thus far, 20 to 30 or whatever maybe that I've seen. I think I've reached out to their group to see about other stuff here since I'm here now to try to do some different things on the beer. So I haven't heard back from them yet, but compared to Cincinnati, it's kind of like you realize you were spoiled in Cincinnati because you've been to Cincinnati,
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like Jungle Gyms. So I'm trying to get that Jungle Gyms replacement, but you really can't replace the Jungle Gyms. It's just
right.
Yeah. If you get enough of the few stores, you might be able to put them together like a Jungle Gyms, but you're not on the same spot,
Yeah, it's not under one roof.
Yeah, but they do have the stores here where you can shop and people drink at the places too and stuff, which is cool. So, but again, they tax the hell out of you for liquor here, like the liquor tax they put on top of the other tax. So,
how much is that?
It depends on what you buy or whatever, but some percentage of that. But when you go out to eat or whatever like that, you'll have your sales tax and you have a liquor tax as well.
So you pay that too, like at the liquor store? It's like on those bourbon counties you were paying.
I think on the liquor store. You know what? It's a good question. Let me take a look on my receipt. Sales tax on alcohol. No, they just have it on the alcohol. If you eat out, I guess you have to pay for it at a restaurant. Yeah. This is just a regular tax. But the sales tax on alcohol is probably about 9%, I think, here. Let's see. Yeah, but if y'all haven't checked out Brian the Beer Snob, check Brian out as well. Great beer stuff. And Brian, I mentioned you earlier. I need to get together with you to get you on for one of the spotlights as well. Montrealers are proud of their city and can't stand the English speakers, but it's a great city and it's been murdered with condos like Toronto. Yeah. Build until you can't build no more, right? You just keep building. Sparkles in the house. Cheers, Michelle. Good to see you. Says Rod J. Hi, Todd.
Little Sparkles.
Sparkles spreading the love. We got CB in the house. Cheers, CB.
What's up,
CB's
CB?
probably ready to kick back and relax in the sauna and have him a little herbal stuff. Cheers, Michelle. Hey, B. Switch to Heaven Hill Mellow Corn. Great for the price. Now, is that like a lager? Because I'm thinking they're playing maybe off the corn adjunct or something. Paul's in the house. Cheers, my good gentlemen
Paul?
and ladies. Cheers, Paul. Y'all know PA Brew News. Check Paul out. Paul's always got some good stuff there. Paul was on one of the spotlights. We had a great time talking about different stuff. So you need to check out his channel. And we got Mallory on at Perfect With Me Crafts. Hello, everyone.
What's up, Mallory?
Cheers, Mallory. Good to see you. And Chew. I know Chew's probably there with you too. And need to get Mallory on here too. I think I'm going to do a Woman in Beer Volume 2 at some point here as well. So that was a fun time I had last year with the Women of Beer talking about stuff. So got to get them all back together again. Sparkle said, yes, Fresca is still around, Roger. Yeah, I didn't know Fresca is Tab still around? I know people that used to love some Tab.
Oh, yeah. Well, my mom and dad's good friends. Their daughter used to drink. Actually, I think my mom, she drank Tab. They had it all the time. I remember that as a kid. No pink can.
Yeah, Tab.
Like
Tab had his moment. It was a Fago. Fago's another one. And yeah, Fanta was another one that was out there.
I wonder, do they still make Tab? I've never really seen it.
No, Tab was off the market. Like Tab got killed. Like
I was gonna say, I hadn't seen that in ages. That makes sense.
Like early '90s or whatever. Tab had its last run out there. It got knocked out. They should bring back. Maybe just try a second time. Bring back Clear Pepsi. So a lot of people haven't heard of the Clear Pepsi, so maybe now's the time to try. Maybe they were ahead of their game. Right?
True.
Seltzer. Well, you know, when Four Loko decided to make a seltzer, you knew everybody else was getting involved in. I mean, Four Loko has a seltzer.
I know. And they seem like they still just keep coming out with them, like new things. You know, I thought seltzer would have been dead by now, but no, it seems like to be growing legs for sure.
Yeah. BB said, shit, right? Close enough to make day trips for Treehouse. I probably could get up there. Yeah, I don't know how far of a drive that would actually be. But for me to South Jersey, it's just 2 hours. For me to New York, I'm looking at, I think, 3.5 maybe. So I could probably get to Treehouse. Blake's in the house.
It'd be a good just overnight trip just to try.
Yeah. Well, every time you see people go to Treehouse, they buy like all these cases of beer. Like, what are you doing with all these cases of beer? I mean, obviously they're selling some of them, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's probably like when he was going to 450 North releases, and it'd be just stacks upon stacks of cans, people just loading the slushies in their car.
Yeah, it's like you're out there.
What's up, Blake?
You're out there like the snowman and smoking the bandit eastbound and down. Wherever trucking, she's just running beer. Blake in the house. Net is back. Yeah, Blake, I think, is part of that zone with the winds and stuff happening too. Switching to a Flying Monkeys Juicy Ass IPA, which I've done a review on the Juicy Ass. So that's another one. I just did the review that I put up there on the chocolate manifesto that I did a while back. I finally got that loaded up there. A nice stout. A lot of people like that stout. And they do some pretty good beers. Speaking of beer, I need to crack open another beer. So now we're going to go to a bigger bottle because, you know, why not? 25.4 ounce. We're going to go to Brewery Amigang, and we're going to have the Abbey Ale Double. So Abbey Ale Double here. ABV on this one, 8.2%. So session ale. And since we're heaven met earth and stayed a while. So this is one I've actually done a review on the channel. So if you want to see the review, you can check out that video. So Brewery Amigang, of course, does some great beers. I'm in the process. I'm going to start getting into their Throne series that I haven't opened up yet. So that'll be coming at some point here. Oh, lots of smoke. Somebody get me Joe D on the line. Get me Joe D. That's a lot of smoke. Yeah. Nice dark brown color. If you haven't had Brewery Gang, highly recommend checking them out. They do some great stuff out of Cooperstown.
Yes, they do.
Nice flavor on the palate. A little bit of a toffee, nutty. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Blake TV, cheers for Michelle. Michelle, cheers, Sparkles. Blake, just played a game of Warzone, still suck. LMFA. You just play to play. You play the game.
Don't feel bad, Blake.
Whiskey. Tab, stylized as Tab, was a decent cola soft drink created and produced by the Coca-Cola Company, introduced in 36, discontinued in 2020. I thought Tab was going way before 2020.
I was gonna say, I was thinking I'd seen it after after what you said, but not in probably the last 10 years though.
Yeah. When did Tab Cola? When did they stop making Tab Cola? Look in here. Yeah, it was the end of 2020. I thought it was a lot before that, though. I guess it just wasn't being sold here. It had a longer
I'd
run
say
than I
probably.
expected.
Yeah, I bet distribution on that thing just shrunk to next to nothing there for a while, or until it finally just stopped.
Yeah. Let me see. I remember when they did Coke Classic. That was seen as not Coke Classic, New Coke. That was seen as one of the worst business decisions ever made at the time. But it ended up working for him because people were so hurt by the new Coke and hated it that he went back to the old recipe and just called it Coke Classic, and it brought him all the way back.
Yeah, right. Marketing genius.
Yeah.
Like, we knew what he was doing all along.
We got Fago here at the local grocery store. Had to grab 4 12-packs last week. Well, when EB's got down there, him in Erie, which I tried for the first time before I left Kentucky, which now I see it here at our store as well. Cheerwine. Have you ever had Cheerwine?
It's funny you mentioned that because I was just seeing that Fago. It made me think of that. No, but I've seen it. We don't get it here.
I had it for the first time like a few months back, and it is pretty tasty. I almost feel like you can feel the sugar getting into your veins, but it is pretty tasty.
There's a YouTuber I watch. He always does a lot of griddle on the Blackstone or whatever, griddling, and he's always got drinking cherry wine.
Yeah,
Like, I think he's in North Carolina or somewhere, and I'm like, I don't even know what cherry wine is. I've never heard of it until I saw his videos. I'm like, huh. Next time I see that, I'm about to go. We're actually going down to Tennessee this weekend, so I might have to, see if they have it there.
Yeah, our Kroger had it in Independence, so it's interesting. It's interesting. It's just tasty. As a kid growing up, one of my favorite sodas to drink was Tahitian Treat. It's not the Tahitian Treat type level for me, but it's more like the cream type soda feel. That's what I get from that one a little bit. Yeah.
Is it similar to you've had Big Red, right?
Similar to Big Red.
Is it similar to Big Red? Okay. Yeah. I'd probably really like that. I love Big Red.
Yeah. Yeah, Big Red was good too. But I used to tear up some Tahitian Treat back in the day.
Which, in fact, when we go, Shannon's aunt and uncle that we go visit and stay with for the weekend when we're down there, they said it's hit and miss sometimes. They're just north of Knoxville. Like, it's hit and miss sometimes where we can get Big Red. Of course, they're from this area. They just moved, they moved down there 25 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So now, every time we go down there, I always just go to Sam's Club and you can get 36. I think it's the 36 pack for $10.
Oh, wow.
So it's a big. So I always just grab it and take it and throw it in the car and just give it to them when we go down.
Yeah.
Because they can't get it there and they're not up. They come up this way some, but not enough. So I was like, I'll just bring the case down, or basically this is a case and a half every time I come down. So the last 3 or 4 times we've been down there, I always go grab a case of it or 30-pack of it and take the 36 of it. I don't know what it is. It might be a 30-pack. I think it's 36 cans though. Shit, I can't remember.
Gilbert said hard pass on Pepsi Clear 2.0. You wouldn't go back in and try it again? Give it a try. They tried to bring Zima back out again, so why not try to bring out Pepsi Clear? So, yeah, that wasn't a good move when whoever marketing genius that came up with. LOL. Quit reviewing Juicy Ass. Well, Todd did review the Juicy Ass. No, he says, wait, no, Rod. LOL. Hey, it's a beer. At least it was juicy and not wet. I think Wet Ass would have been a worse title. Like, who would want to review a beer called Wet Ass?
Yeah, Juicy's just a little bit better.
Yeah.
Maybe not, probably not a lot better, but a little bit better anyway.
Although I still haven't reviewed the brown note because I still can't get over the brown note. It's the grain.
Yes. That can art on that thing is just like, how do you even sell that? That doesn't even make no sense.
Yeah, the against the grain brown note. I mean,
you got a picture of it there you can pull up?
Yeah, let me pull it up here. For those of you wondering what I'm talking about, but you're probably thinking in your head, you probably are like kind of trying to envision it.
Which against the grain is 10 miles from my house, so it's in my neck of the woods.
So here's the brown note against the grain beer, which people seem to like the beer, but I just haven't gotten past the imagery of the whole brown note thing. I'm like, come on, Sam, why? Why are we doing
this? No kidding. I do like the one next to it though in the middle. It's kind of like the play on Seinfeld.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah.
George Costanza. The brown ale aged in bourbon. See, that one I could probably do because it's not really giving me the brown note like that.
Which I guess looking by the tattoos and stuff, it's the same guy. Well, I guess it is the brown note. Yeah, it's just aging. Okay, yeah.
I'm thinking that guy had a bad run at Taco Bell too. So yeah. All right, Michelle. Thanks for swinging by, my friend. Always great to see you. Mallory Blake, cheers. I rarely get pop anymore. Mexican cola mostly. Funny you mentioned that, Gilbert, because I tried that like a few months ago. I was looking at the store and I see the Mexican Coke and stuff like that. So I said, let me get a bottle and actually taste this instead of getting a regular Coke. And it is actually so much better.
And it's actually real sugar.
It's real sugar. It's better than the Coke that we get.
Yeah. Which I think we can get them in grocery stores here. I just never think about it.
I mean, they'll charge you for them, but you can get them. If you end up going to, depending where you're at, like in Kentucky, we have some spots. There are probably some spots right here around Baltimore. Because depending on if you have that Latino influence, but some of the stores that they go to, they'll have them there. And you probably get a better deal than what the American ones are putting them out for. But that and the Jarnitos or whatever, like the orange soda, really good. Like they use real cane sugar for it. So, But yeah, when you go to Mexico, like we went to Cancun, like you couldn't even get sweet and low or anything like that. Like it was just sugar. Like there was no fake stuff.
Well, your body knows how to process actual sugar.
Yeah.
All that
Dominican
sweetener
Republic was the same way. Dominican Republic, you couldn't get any sweeteners.
Yeah.
And you did not miss them either. I typed goodly. Type goodly. I mean, what's new in Chicago, Mallory? Sleet, snow, wind, and beer. Pretty much covers it. How about where you are? Well, as long as you got beer, you can make it through all of that. Right?
I was going to say, that's the key component there.
They should have cheer wine in Tennessee. Don't have your hopes up too high, though. Not bad, but not great either. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent thing. Like I said, it's close to Big Red. A little bit of a cream soda type appeal to me, I think. But
yeah, I'll look for it when we go down there.
But I got it because like EB and Erie will talk about it. I think Erie's a bigger fan of cheer wine than EB is. So I was like, let me go ahead and check this out. RC Cola better soda. You don't hear a lot of people repping RC though.
My brother, I would agree with you on that, Alan. He loves like RC Cola. He'll buy that over just Coke or Pepsi most of the time.
RC Royal Crown.
It is pretty good, though. It is pretty good.
I wonder if there's a thing for best sodas ranked.
But I don't know anybody that actually. I don't know that I've ever actually seen it on, I say tap, but like at a restaurant or anything where you can actually order it outside of like cans or something at the store.
Yeah. I was looking right here, the top 10 favorite sodas: Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Diet Coke, Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, Sprite, Diet Pepsi, Coke Zero. And then, wait a minute, something's missing here. That's not all 10. Top 10. Oh, then Fanta, and then Diet Mountain Dew.
Huh.
But it's like all the same company for the most part.
Yeah.
Like you're not getting RC put in there. You're not getting like no Mellow Yellow in there. Like what? Mellow Yellow and the Coke. I was never a huge Mellow Yellow fan. Bless you. I was never a huge Mellow Yellow person. But what about Schweppes? Nice ginger ale. You don't see ginger ales getting represented out here.
That's true too.
Canada Dry. You got a tummy ache. Canada Dry with some crackers. That'll help clear it up too. If you can't get to the new Coke, if you can't get to the good Coke at McDonald's, next best thing, right? Yeah.
I was gonna say that should be number one. It should be like McDonald's Coke.
McDonald's.
And then number two would be like regular Coke, because there is a difference.
Oh, it is.
Like
yeah.
McDonald's Coke is is without a doubt the best cola out there.
Tab disappeared in Ontario during the late 80s, but there's a regional taste like Cheerwine. There you go. Birch beer. I do like birch beer. You can't find it by me. Yeah, birch beer is not one you find a lot of spots, but I do like that. Growing up as a kid in Jersey, birch beer was pretty popular. James Nels, JT says gluten event. I still can get Tahitian treat. I can too. I don't drink it as much now because of the high sugar content, but once in a while, like a nice Italian hoagie, especially as I'm back on the East Coast now, I can get more of those, or like a Wawa type hoagie. But in Kentucky, it'd be like a nice Jersey Mike's. It's a Tahitian treat, and it was like you just sit back and relax. Growing up as a kid, it was like Italian hoagie and grape soda. Grape soda pairs well with an Italian hoagie, but I digress. I don't always have grape soda, but a Tahitian treat, a lot easier to find.
Was that like diabetes in a can?
Pretty much.
Diabetes. Wilford be knocking on your front door.
Wilford will part of that Italian hoagie.
True.
He's like, we can't live forever. Love to go out with a smile. Love burst beer. Gilbert said, I even got the creamy red version. Nice. So jealous. Amazon shipped a lot of pop. Yeah. Well, we used to get a lot of stuff like that from some of the Amazon stuff. My wife actually ordered stuff before. Like, why are you ordering soda from Amazon? Because they end up spending more. If you go to like your Kroger or here, now I go to like Heater Harris, Teeter Harris, whoever it is. You get like 3 12-packs for like $10. But if you order through Amazon, it costs you more because they don't do the same type of stuff. But they ship a lot of stuff out from Amazon that way. What's up, Beer Hound in the house? Hello from the OC. Cheers, Bill. Y'all know Beer Hound. Check him out as well. Bill's got a lot of good stuff going on his beer channel, too. I also like Dr. Pepper. Yeah, Dr. Pepper, I actually like. That's one of my favorites to enjoy. I think if I had to rank my favorite soda, it'd probably be Tahitian Treat, Dr. Pepper. I do like Coke more than Pepsi. I don't know if I put Coke 3 or Coke 4, because I probably would put Sunkist at 3 and then Coke at 4.
Oh.
And then A&W at 5. That's my top 5. People forget about A&W. A&W's got a nice root beer. Although I will say, is it Muggs, the other one? They got a nice little root beer too. But A&W just goes back to a little A&W restaurant. And
Right.
Yeah. You know.
You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
And it mixes well with
Ice
other
cream.
things too, if you want
Oh,
to.
other things
Yeah,
too.
ice
Yeah.
cream or
Or
vodkas or whatever.
ice cream or liquor
Right, either one, whichever.
Southern Comfort, yeah. So I'm drinking oxys. You're not feeling well. You got the amoxicillin out. I've had
Mm.
that before. Yeah, you want to mix that up. I mean, I'm trying to think did I drink on amoxicillin before? I can't remember if I did or didn't. I don't think I did. I don't think you're supposed to. But it's not as bad as if you were drinking like on Vicodin or something. You don't want to. That's worse. You drink on Vicodin or Percocet, you're going on a joyride, my friend. You're sitting there watching the paint on walls. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I told that to a guy at work one time. He had gotten his wisdom tooth out. And he was like, "This is a Percocet." I was like, "Oh," he said, "Just when you get home, have a beer with the Percocet, knock you right out or whatever." He came in the next morning. He was like, "Why would you tell me to do that?" Like, I was
What do you?
I thought you could handle it. I thought you could handle one beer with a Percocet.
I'm just trying to help you out, man.
Apparently, everybody's body doesn't react the same. I've done it before. Just kind of kicked back and zoned out. But yeah, some people it doesn't happen that way. So make sure you know your body.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, beer prescription. Oh, amoxicillin is definitely prescription. My oldest brother loves RC. Coke 2. Coke 2 was so shit in the 80s and likely caused that. Yeah. Well, when they went to that new Coke, it was like, yeah, that was just a horrible deal. That's that, I talked about it before the show. Watching this channel, I don't know if it's History Channel or Food Network. I think it's History Channel. When they do like the food that built America and the toys that built America and the industry, the food ones are some of the more ruthless ones on how they shortcut each other. And the cola wars, oh my God, they were going right at each other. You would think it was like a military operation on how to go after each other. Yeah.
I think mine, I guess, would be probably Big Red #1 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then Coke. And probably Dr. Pepper. Then A&W. What would be fifth? I don't know. I don't know what the fifth one would be. Maybe Cherry Coke or Cherry Pepsi. One of those probably would be the fifth one, I guess.
Nobody says 7-Up either. 7-Up's another one that's out there. Like,
yeah, 7-Up, Sprite, either one.
I remember 7-Up being big in the 80s and late 70s when they had the bald guy that did the commercials. Never had it, never will. I can't remember. I don't know what the guy's name was, but it like made him like a big icon, like for 7-Up. That gave him a big push and stuff.
That wasn't like Telly Savalas or something, was it?
No, it was some other guy. It was some other guy that did it. But 7-Up, I remember 7-Up, and you put that with Hawaiian Punch, and that was like a nice little fizz to the red juice or whatever. When you were a kid, were you like the kid like I was when you went to the 7-Eleven and you would get a big gulp and you could like hit all the different flavors?
Oh yeah, I've done it. Yeah,
you never won the big gulp, but it's got like a Pepsi. There was like a little bit of Pepsi, a little Dr. Pepper, a little bit of
suicide is what you called that. Suicide, or at least that's what we called them anyway. You get a suicide, and every news is like a mix of everything.
Yeah. It's like it was so boring just to get one flavor, Which
I feel like we used to do that. I feel like we used to do that with like Coke sodas and stuff too, like Coke and Pepsi, and just kind of go on down the line so your cup was full.
Which now I think our generation is owed money, by the way, because you go to these fast food stuff like Wendy's and them in the movie theater, they have these new Coke machines where you can mix flavors up.
Oh yeah, right, yeah, exactly.
That started with Gen X.
Exactly.
That was our stuff back at 7-Elevens and stuff back in the day.
Now most all those new Coke machines or the dispensers have them like choose whatever. Even if you go like a Circle K or something, gas station or something, they have like the cherry. You want to add cherry or something to it or whatever. I'm like
cherry, strawberry, Coke. Like,
yeah.
That was our.
You're like, hold on, wait a minon.
We should be getting a royalty check somewhere. That was
That
us
is-
that came up with that idea.
That is a good call right there, Rod. Good call. I'm all on that one. I'm all behind you.
When we were at 7-Eleven playing track and field, and it wasn't your
Yes.
turn, and you were getting a soda, you were mixing the flavors up. I'm just saying. Or if you were in the pizzeria with your slice of pizza waiting for your turn to play pole position, you were mixing flavors. Oh, we was
So
robbed.
true.
We was robbed.
So true. You know, they'll send us they'll send us our 12-cent check in the mail for that.
Yeah. That's copyright infringement right there. We
It's
came
been
up
brought
with
to
that
our
idea.
attention that we all owe you if you're in the ages of.
Yeah.
Here's your 12 cents. Like, wait a minute, what?
The more I think about that, like, son of a bitch, that was our idea. We came up with that. Gen X getting screwed again. They were talking about
Always.
the Super Bowl and the halftime show. And apparently online there was fighting taking place between the millennials and Gen X because Mary J. Blige, you had Snoop, you had Dre, you had M.
50 Cent.
They're all Gen Xers, right?
Yeah.
50, all except Kendrick, who's a millennial. But
You're right,
music
yeah.
they were playing were music we were doing like in the 90s, right? And stuff like
You're
that.
right, yes, yes.
But the kids that were the millennials, the little kids were thinking that was their music because they were like, well, we were little kids. Like, no, that was a Gen X halftime show. Period. You know, you had one millennial, Kendrick Lamar, who came out for his part, but it was overwhelmingly Gen X. So
Well, yeah.
just wanted to settle that right here. That wasn't a millennial halftime show. That was a Gen X show.
And it's funny, like you look on, I don't know about your like Facebook page, but you look on Facebook page and you see like people like my mom's generation, they're like, this is the worst show ever. This is the worst halftime show ever. Then you see like our age group of kids that was in high school with or whatever, like, this is hands down the best halftime show ever. I'm like, oh God, this is so funny. And then like younger kids, like my daughter's age, whatever, be like, okay, Kendrick Lamar's cool, but who are all those other old fucks out there? Who are those other ones that think they're rapping or whatever, you know, like, okay. So it definitely got like the very top of it to the main part of us, you know, for us, and then the bottom of it was like, who are they? I don't know who those people are.
It was a mix for some of the stuff there, which I didn't watch much of the game, but I saw the show, and it was like, you know, for me, knowing those songs, DJing, playing a lot of those songs back in the 90s when I played them and stuff, it was like, I thought it was good, but like some people were saying how great it was and like the best ever, and I'm like, you had Prince out there with the in the rain playing Purple Rain. It's like it's hard to say that was better than what Prince had done, or what Michael Jackson had done, it, or even some of the stuff that Bruno Mars had done. So, in perspective, it's kind of like it was a good show, but it wasn't like I wouldn't say one of the best top ones. But it was kind of like it was nice to see them getting representation, which made sense because Dre being from LA, South Central, and Snoop being from there and all that stuff. It was kind of like nice to have them out there and stuff.
I feel like a lot of that was because the halftime show for the last, I don't know, however many years has not been great. So everybody just probably put it that much higher because they forgot about those old, you know, the ones before it was just bad.
Well, Janet Jackson loses one top and everybody loses their mind.
Like, I know, right?
But let's face it.
I was curious.
Let's face it. That was a great halftime show.
Yeah, that was a good one too. That was a good one. I was curious to see though how I was like, how are they gonna, besides Mary J. Blige, how are they gonna sing any song without bleeping half like? Oh, they're changing it up to like radio editing it, you know, which is what they did. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, when we were DJing the radio, you know, you would get the radio edits and how they.
You're right. Yeah. And
everything, but it was. I mean, I expected them. They did what they did. I heard some rumors on some other stuff they were looking at. They didn't do. Like I heard a rumor they were doing they were going to try to do a hologram of Tupac, which obviously didn't happen. But you know,
that'd have been cool.
Yeah, I think people were surprised when they saw Dre play the piano. Like they didn't know Dre could play the piano and stuff too. That was kind of a cool aspect. But you know, seeing the stuff in the background, like if you looked at it, like some of the Snoop album, Doggy Style, was on the wall in the background. There was other stuff, and like when 50 came out. he was doing basically what he did in the club back in the day when that video was released, being upside down and stuff like that. So there was some nostalgia parts to it and everything. So
Did you see the videos of they were showing Snoop where he was taking a hit before he was coming up the steps going on stage?
And people acting like they're surprised. Like, what? So if
I
Willie
know.
Nelson wasn't there, you don't think he's doing the same thing on the
Right.
performs? Yeah. So if you go to Cypress Hills truck, good luck trying to find him because it's going to be like smoke everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like you see a story like that and you say, yeah, water is wet. So where are we at right now? You know what I mean? So you're not really telling anybody anything.
My brother said he saw. I don't know if he doesn't know if it was real. I might have said this last week. I can't remember that there was an actually odds like a plus 300. So you bet $10 and get back $30, or bet $100 and get back 300.
Yeah.
That Snoop would be caught smoking a joint before he went on stage. I was like, does that count? Would that count? I guess. I mean, you wouldn't actually see him do it on TV, but
yeah, I guess there was some talk where one of the things that he couldn't light up because it's in LA you can smoke, but he wasn't allowed to light up on stage is one of the things they had. So obviously he get in before he goes on. So yeah,
pretty sure he probably couldn't function if he didn't. Could he?
I mean, he's so used to it now. It's like
I know.
It's like Bob Marley, right? It becomes a part of your bloodstream and system. Willie Nelson, same way. It's just you're so used to doing it. You may start flubbing if you don't get to do it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I almost feel like he probably had to because he probably never ever performed any other way.
Yeah. When he said, "Where I am, it feels like spring, humid, slightly warm and rainy." Oh, these weather patterns. My thing is a little punk was a large glass of bottle of lime crush and spiced ham. Way better on a Kaiser. I remember seeing spiced ham. I don't know if I've ever had spiced ham. I've seen it before. Beerhound says his 7-Up RC Cola. Is that Fresco pepper or no Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Yeah.
Vernon's ginger ale and Squirt. Although I think he just wanted to put Squirt in there.
just because of the name.
I never had anybody where Squirt was a top drink for him, but root beer was higher. Oh yeah, Hires was the other root beer too. There was Hires, A&W, then Mug root beer later on. Hires was a good root beer. Speaking of sodas, ever had a Moxie? I've not had a Moxie. Have you heard of Moxie before?
I have not. No.
Wow. I know it's hosted frosted fruit pie. See, here's I think we're going with the hosted because I know the hosted pies. I used to like the lemon, but I was always more the cupcake. The orange cupcakes were my thing.
Oh.
Those were always my favorites. I didn't know why they never needed to create the snowballs. I'm like Woody in Zombieland, like snowballs. Why Twinkies, obviously. I mean, if you're a kid and you're not eating a Twinkie, I don't know what's wrong with you. So Twinkies were there. The cupcakes, the Suzy Q's. I don't know if the Suzy Q's are back in the day where the chocolate ones with the vanilla in the middle. Those were good. Yeah. So, and then the pies were probably the next thing up for me. But I did like the lemon pie.
Well, speaking of Twinkies, one of the beers I had on last week, that chocolate-covered cherry sour, if you remember. So the Atrium Brewing Company, where I got that from, let me see if I can find it now. Let's see. Of course, I probably won't be able to see it on here. They were making a I don't see the listing for it now. They were making I don't know if it come out today or next week, but they're making one that's like full of like Twinkies.
Really?
It's like on the sour. It's like in the sour line. But I was going to read it to you as to what it actually was. But I'm looking on Facebook now to see.
Is a Twinkie beer?
I'm not seeing it. Yeah, they said they made it with. They were 10-ounce pours is what you can get it for or get it as, and it was.
Was it the Lion Tail Twinkie Golden Stout?
I don't think that's what it was.
Golden Stout was rich flavor. Oh, no, this is yellow cake, vanilla, and creamy. They didn't use Twinkies in it. No Twinkies were harmed in the making of that beer.
Oh, here you go. It's called Cake Flup Boy, a variant of our Dreamsicle Flush Boy. Flup Boy. Well, I guess it's Flup Boy, FLUPH. I don't know. Fluff Boy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Inspired by the new menu, blah, blah, blah. Conditioned on a smorgasbord of Twinkies, orange, mango, and marshmallow. Meet the equivalent of over one full Twinkie per 10-ounce pour.
Mm.
And they're doing some really good stuff. They're probably to me, probably one of the top, maybe if beer making styles go as far as beers go in Louisville, is probably them.
Oh, I say if you ever get a deep fried Twinkie, get it because it is fucking good.
I mean, I feel like anything deep fried, you should probably get it, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much. Wayne, Chew, and I are coming to visit right now. The weather's no fun. So you got Mal and Chew coming down. Sum it up yours. Oh, that's what she said. Oh, okay. I got enough beer for 4 hours. Then, how much beer do you need for 4 hours? That's the question. Maybe Chew looks pretty thirsty. One thing I will say, I haven't found out where any beer festivals are at yet down here. So,
oh yeah,
like
you gotta
right
do
now,
that.
Cincinnati, like I think it's the week after this week, is the Bach Festival, which is all Bachs. Like, and they're like usually a pretty good ABV box, like from 8% up and stuff that they do. I mean, people get pretty hammered.
We're going to Tailspin, which we just went to in October.
Mm-hmm.
But the original time is the one coming up, so they decided to go ahead and do it normal time. So it was within 4 months or whatever, 5 months. So we're going to that in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
And then, let's see, in April, Taxman, who does all the Belgian-style beers.
Yeah.
So me and Shannon's brother, we're going, just me and him as far as I know, we're going up. They're having a little, what they call Taxman Day. And it's mostly Indiana breweries or whatever, plus, their stuff. So
if that Taxman visits, I don't have any problem with that. It's a good Taxman.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Blue said halftime show was decent. Yeah, I agree. It definitely was a decent show. It's just, I think some people were definitely more into it than I think I was, as far as I couldn't put it on that level of like some of the other ones that I've seen over the years. Although I haven't watched the Super Bowl the last few years, like the year the Eagles won it, I think I didn't watch it. I stopped watching the year before the Eagles won it, which was tough because growing up in the Philly area, a lot of friends that were rooting for the Eagles to win that one and did not watch it. But I've seen some of the halftime shows and the acts and stuff. So yeah. Beer Hound, class of 89 here. Yeah, see, so you're Gen X too. You're Gen X as well. You would have to bring the sours. No sours here. You got no sours in the house? How do you have no sours? See, James said he loved the halftime show. Yeah, show was good there. Yeah, Wayne, you actually bring up an interesting point because I thought that would have been awesome if that would have happened. His halftime was good, but where was Ice Cube? So Cube wasn't part of it because Ice Cube and Dre just released some new tracks. But if they would have did something, they fell back and they brought 50 out as a surprise. But I think if they'd have brought Cube out as a surprise, the crowd would have been going crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been over the top on that one for sure.
Yeah, or if they went back and had like an easy type thing, went to the Boys in the Hood. Oh my God.
That's what I was going to say too. Is like, what if they did like a hologram and had like Easy E or something up there instead?
They would have blown up. Then I would have had it on a higher level.
They'd be like, well, tune in next week. We'll get the second half in because nobody's going to clear the field. They're too busy watching this halftime show.
But I will say, from watching it, Mary J still got it. And when she went to that No More Drama, she was killing it there. So, will you drink them with us? How could you not? I love Vernon's barrel-aged ginger ale. Yeah, I do like Vernon's ginger ale. I've had it a few times, especially If you're out and you're like using it as a mixer, it's a nice ginger ale as a mixer. Try one. Wayne said, "Drinking with us, it'll be a flight." Oh, you perv. So like, yeah. I just figured you might do squirt out there just to have squirt out there. That's all. I've never heard anybody say, you know what I'm missing right now?
I need a squirt.
I like a nice glass of squirt. What? Wow, you say it out loud. That even sounds kind of perverse.
Yeah, it does. Just kind of sounds like,
One local brewery didn't do flights when we interviewed them, so I made my own with 10-ounce pours. So there you go. That's kind of interesting that a local brewery did not do flights.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
But yeah, the one beer store I went to here, talking to the guy there, and they actually he's actually getting new stuff in. He's thinking about doing half. I said, well, some breweries, half pours work well because some people don't want a full pint. So if you're doing 8-ounce pours, that could be a great play for you as well. I like Lil Wayne. He should have been there. I've never been a huge Lil Wayne fan. He just does nothing for me in the thing. I mean, when I hear the stuff, I had a couple songs here and there I thought were okay, but yeah, maybe I'm just too old in that regard. I'm going to Clint Eastwood, get off my lawn. He's not as bad as to the mumble rap, but he's just not something I kind of bring in. Which on the reaction channel, I tell you what, for those of you that watch the reaction channel, I'm pretty much just in awe of watching Akala now. So I've become a big Akala fan from doing his videos. If you don't know who Akala is, check out the reaction channel. But he just drops so much knowledge in his stuff that he's doing. It's almost like going to a history class on the things that he's talking about. So those are our favorite flights. The halftime show needed Cube, MC8, Cypress Hill, and DJ Quick. What, no Ren? You didn't want Ren to come out there, Gilbert? Cypress Hill would be cool coming out, yeah. I mean, because you'd have to look at the crew that was with them. I mean, they could even brought out Lady of Rage and dropped the Afro Puffs, and it would have set the crowd off. You know what I mean? So there were other acts they could have done there. I mean, but Dre had 50. That was his boy through Eminem and all that stuff. So they were all kind of tied in there. But Ren would have been that could have came out and did something.
I mean, I assume are they all produced by Dre? It was Mary J.
Mary J isn't,
yeah.
And
okay.
I don't know if Kendrick Lamar is or not.
Yeah, I don't know if he is either or not. That's what I was wondering. I just assumed it was all like his people,
Yeah.
Or had ties in where, musically, whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about Mary J either. I wasn't sure. I didn't think she was, but then I was like, well, maybe she is since she's on there. I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, funny thing, Gilbert, when I was DJing back in the 90s playing songs, I was never a huge DJ Quick fan. I've actually liked him a little bit better now, hearing some of his old stuff, but back then I was never really into the whole DJ Quick as much.
I'm with you. I wasn't a huge. He had the one song, I guess, that was really popular, and that was outside of that.
Yeah.
I guess I never really listened to him enough. I don't know.
I'm a daily cannabis smoker, so yeah, I just feel normal. Yeah, it just becomes a part. I mean, you're smoking a plant. I mean, as far as I know, and what I've always researched, like no one's ever been found to have lung cancer from cannabis. I mean, and even like, when people came here, Native Americans, I'm sure that's what they were putting in the peace pipe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Moxie was one of the first sodas originated in New England in the 1870s as a Moxie nerve food. It tastes like a nastier, less sweet, more bitter version of licorice. Oh. Yeah, I've never heard of that one.
That didn't even sound good.
No. Mallory says, yuck.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, just give me some prune juice instead.
Yeah, right.
It's owned by Coke today and understandable, hard to find. Yeah, I can understand that. That's another thing, prune juice. Like as we get older, are we going to start drinking prune juice? Like you see some old people like, oh, prune juice. Like they're proud to get their prune juice. It's like,
yeah.
Like I don't see any point where I'll be acceptable to say, give me some prune juice. I've been looking for.
I know, right?
Like how bad?
Unless it was kind of like a screwdriver or something. Can you serve it to you that way? I guess maybe I don't know.
I mean, I feel like you got to be really backed up to order some prune juice. So yeah,
I would think.
I think I had Moxie. It was odd. I think I had Moxie and it was called Uzo. Highwire Nashville is doing a small batch beer fest Saturday in April. Should be there. Nice. Yeah, Highwire. Well, Todd's got Highwire down there in Louisville. I decided to leave Cincinnati, and now they're putting a Highwire in Cincinnati. I'm like, you son of a bitch. But guess what? The beer store I went to today, I saw Highwire beer.
Oh, nice.
So I can still get to you.
Well, Shannon just said before we went on air, she said she thought there was a Highwire in Knoxville, which was pretty close to where we're going.
Yeah,
this
really?
weekend.
So that would be nice.
Her brother's actually going to be there also. And so I think me and her brother and their cousin that lives down there, we're going to go to Knoxville and do a little brewery tour. So we'll see if they got a Highwire there. We might have to hit it if they do.
Oh, so what are some breweries to you out in the new spot in Maryland? Right now, the only brewery I went to, I did some pictures out at, was Guinness Brewery. I haven't been inside of it yet, but I have the Guinness Brewery about 15 minutes from me here. I did look on Yelp, and I have about 6 or 7 that are pretty close to me, but I haven't been to them yet. I didn't write down their names or anything. But over the next few weeks, I want to get out and start exploring some of those. I'm just now finding some of the beer stores, and I'm looking forward to doing some of the breweries and trying to shoot some video and stuff out there. I actually reached out to the Maryland Brewers Association today to try to get some contacts on stuff as well. So I hope to bring some of those to the channel here.
That Guinness looks pretty cool.
Yeah, the Guinness one looks pretty cool. So the Guinness one, from what I know from before when they opened it up, they do the processing for the beers here in the States now. And I think they have 50-something taps.
Oh,
wow. They do a lot of small batch processing. So stuff they're brewing there, you can't get in other spots. So think of like Braxton Labs, right? They're doing they're doing stuff like that here where you can they're experimenting with stuff, which would be pretty cool to check out. But then they also do like the Baltimore Blonde, which most people will see as the blonde ale in the stores. That's done out of the brewery here. They're doing that new one that just came out, the Guinness Irish Mint or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was done here as well.
Oh, okay.
So they got some different ones they're doing here for handling in the States. But with their Guinness is very well intentioned on how they put breweries in certain spots to brew certain beers. They really look at the demographics and they really take into account what people enjoy. And they put those beers in those areas where I think they have the best success. So the reason we never really got the Forward Extra Stout until more recently was that it was in Nigeria and it was in Caribbean and it was in parts of Southern Asia because that's where it was a little bit more of that sweetness in the beer that people really enjoy. Now they found out that people in the States want it as well, so they expanded it here. But Guinness, they do well on how they target their different regions for stuff. So I'm looking forward to checking out that brewery. And the food looks fantastic as well.
Yeah, and it's only, what would you say, 15 minutes away from you?
Yeah.
So that could be good or that could be bad.
yeah. I gotta make some contacts there. Well, I did that picture and somebody from Guinness reached out on that as well too about hoping to see me when I'm out there and stuff. So
that's cool.
Get out there and do some stuff. Had Moxie, had to look at label, remember the flavor for sure. Yeah, it seems like that flavor will be remembered. Clutch said, okay, homie, just wait till you get into more low key, Logic, English Frank, Dave Getz, Cano Gigs, Mike Righteous, and more. Yeah, there's a ton of people that are out there for sure. So EB does a lot of that stuff. He was doing a lot of that stuff over the last couple of years, so he knows all the artists and stuff like that. Like he's mentioning here, and some of the requests are coming in because I've had a good amount of people from the UK request stuff now. Yeah, it's going to be crazy on doing some of that. But I also want to get in some of the American flavor on stuff too. So, like I did one for Nas's track when it came out. I do want to do one for the Dre and Cube track. I haven't listened to it yet, so I kind of want to do it as a reaction. But they had a new track come out. But like Dave, people are asking me to do more of the Dave tracks, which I want to do. Dave is just on a different level. I mean, his level of awareness is high, but Akala is on that level too, or even higher. Akala is like a walk-in freaking encyclopedia and stuff. I mean, it's just for us here. I would say a Akala would be like KRS-One in the knowledge and stuff that he's dropping, but he's even more deliberate in the stuff he does than what KRS-One was. It's like if you took KRS-One and you matched him into Chuck D and you gave him like that dexterity of like a Busta Rhymes, that's kind of like an Akala. He has all these different things that are taking place that make him just this super type being when it comes to hip hop in that regard. So see, EB said Dre produced for Mary J. Now, yes, he just back when I was DJing, yeah, she was with Diddy at that time when Diddy was doing stuff. So yeah, but so Dre's working right now. Yeah, hologram of Easy E would have been awesome. They could have brought the hologram of Easy E and be like, "We want Easy," and had Easy.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Oh, and then dropping in, the boys in the hood are always hard. Talking that trash will pull your car. Oh,
nothing in life.
Let me produce a show. I would have that shit hyped. I would have dropped it straight out of Compton. And then Cube would have came out. It would have been like, that's Ice Cube. That's Ice Cube. Quick writing style with edgy street dealer for sure. LA. Yeah, I just
at Speedway, we know a fresh start to your day.
He just never struck me as being somebody I wanted to listen to as much. Although if DLC would have been out there with DLC, obviously we know about his voice and everything like that. But DLC back in the day, he was going to blow up, I think, and then he had that accident and stuff or whatever where he lost his voice, and he would just write for some artists. But DLC was the man coming up.
Oh yeah,
with the formula. Bros, Fire in the Boots are awesome, but the songs aside of that, like Shakespeare, Thieves Banquet, and Fire in the Holy Curse. Yeah, it's just knowledge. Yeah, his whole college. Yeah, and I want to see the piece that he did. A couple people that talked about the piece he did. I think it was at Oxford, maybe, on class or race, whatever it was. He's just, what you appreciate about Akala is he puts the work in, and that's what you want. Like these artists, like I listen to some of the artists, it's like. People will nowadays, Cardi B is like, what does Cardi B really say? Like, it's just like, to me, it's kind of basic. Cardi B, to me, is just like another level of a little Kim, but I feel like Kim put more work in what Cardi B actually did as well.
Yeah. I can see that.
It's kind of like the mumble type rappers or something like that, or the things they're talking about. It's just like, you're not putting knowledge and stuff out there that you could be using it for such a bigger thing. And maybe it's just because we grew up. When we grew up in the 80s, the 90s, Gen X, I mean, we had the Public Enemies, we had the KRS-Ones, had the Big Daddy Kanes, you had the Chubb Rocks, you had people that were dropping knowledge along the way. You had the Pete Rock, CL Smooth, you had Run DMC, you had people that were like, they were hitting you with being Rakim, they were hitting you with these messages in there that made you want to do the knowledge. And that's what I like about Akala, because he does that, but Akala does it in a way that it's like, I feel like I need to read a dictionary right now or an encyclopedia or something, because he gives you so much. It's like, I need to get up and Google something, because now I'm
what the hell is it? Yeah, what does that mean?
I mean, you literally can listen to him and you take notes as you're listening. Like, I got to see what that is all about, and it's just, it brings me back to the days when we had like X-Clan and stuff like that, where it was just like things were being out there and you're like, that's not being taught at school. Why not? And you're researching to find out why it's not taught at school. And it's just, It gives you that standing and stuff. So good stuff for sure. Gilbert's on the roll. He's on the Nickelbrook Classic Head Shock West Coast IPA. Now, Nickelbrook, I was getting at Jungle Gyms. I have not seen Nickelbrook down where I'm at now, of course, but they're out of Canada. And I think I did get something from them at one point. It was pretty good. Warren G and Nate Dogg, hologram. Yeah. Oh, man. How good it would have been at the end.
Regulators.
Nate Dogg hologram. And they're like, you better lay low. That would have been good. That would have been good.
Mount up.
He has a new album. Oh shit! I'll have to check that out. I mean, does he have his voice back where he can pretty much talk now? Because I know it was more like a whisper when he had it before after everything happened. You know, his voice is really weird now. Not really weird. Well, it's altered, I guess you could say. His DMC for Run DMC because he had drank and smoked so much back when they were doing Run DMC, it altered his vocal cords. But he
I
used to
did
say
not
how
know that.
he would drink a 40 before he went on stage because he was so nervous, and that would calm him down.
Yeah, right.
And so you're thinking like, oh, so when DMC's up there doing that, he's like freaking hammered, right? He's buzzed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't get that shit down what he's saying straight. Like I couldn't come up with those lines that he comes up with sometimes. So, so those were the days though. One of my old buddies, his sister, she hung out with them back in the day, and there was a picture one time with them all smoking weed around when they were up there. Weed is just the ultimate relaxer. It's just a relaxer. He wrote a book on classroom. Yeah, and that book is actually on my Goodreads to try to pick up. Graphic novel. Yeah, PlayStation in Oxford. Yeah, it was Oxford. Had charity set up. Yeah. I mean, he's putting in the work. I mean, much applause to him and all the stuff that he's doing. It's like, I look at that and I'm like, if people can take that energy and there's so much more that can be done. It's kind of like, that's one of the things that burnt me out on some of the other stuff over the years with hip hop, because it got away from kind of that. Like we were in that golden era where it was like, became a message, we had the self-destruction or we're all in the same gang type stuff.
Right. Yeah.
They're trying to build stuff up, and that got all shifted back where it was tearing stuff down again. So
Yep.
if everything goes smooth on Saturday, you guys will be sipping my favorite peanut butter beer next week. Oh, nice. Well, remember to send me your address so I can get you some stuff up there.
Yeah, I haven't forgot about him either. I need to do that too.
Oh my God. Oh, you need to check out my Hip Hop Chronicles channel as well. I need to start putting some more stuff up on there. But Houdini storytelling, very still timeless. I can still listen to Friends and it still hits. I can still listen to 5 minutes of funk and it still hits. Freaks Come Out at Night, still hits.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a Big Mouth, still hits. It's just like Houdini
was great.
Yeah, they were classic. They were classic. They were another one that was just they're on point, man. I could go through so many different hip hop stories. Just the different times back then. But growing up as a guy, I can remember when that album came out with 5 minutes of funk, and we had it on tape. We played the shit out of that cassette tape, 5 minutes of funk ain't no.
Yes. Dang it.
That's back we had the double cassette boom boxes. So you had to time it up to go from one to the next. Friends.
Yeah, I remember those.
Friends. Oh, if you got the link to it, let me know for sure, EB. Oh, One Love. That was another one. One love. Yeah, one love. Yeah. That was a fun time back. That was a fun time back then.
I get my dog some food. They're driving me nuts.
I don't get mumble rap at all. I got into hip hop during the New Rochelle days. Yeah. I don't get I mean, is it that maybe because we're older and it's kind of like just different? Like, like our parents would say they could understand the stuff we were listening to, which sounded just fine to us. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know, but I feel like when I listen to it, I like listening to stuff with a purpose, and as you're older, some of the things they're talking about aren't going to be the same things you're going to want to listen to, because it's like, you're not out there chasing chicks anymore or trying to get drinks and all kind of, because we're at a different stage in our life. So, but I like seeing the young cast that are out there already with that knowledge, because it is like, you got so much more ahead of you. It's kind of like we say, if you go back to a younger age with the knowledge you have now, what would you do? And it's like, I see someone like an Akala or some of these other casts that are rapping, and it's like, they're going back
kind of where they're at.
And they're trying to tell other people stuff that'll help inspire them too. And that's where the strength of it comes into. I mean, the poetry and the history and everything being shared just becomes that much bigger. Yeah, well, definitely. Houdini, One Love, still classic. Some of the old classic tunes, I still kind of I listen to, what is it, Sirius that we have in the car? That's one of
Yeah.
the Roxanne shows.
Oh yeah, that's a LL station.
LL's channel, and I listen to that, and it's just like,
I listen to Roxanne and
Yeah.
Cool V on the way home from work every day.
I'll hear them put on something, and it's like, oh, you start hearing songs you forgot you even remember from back then. You know what I mean? It's like they'll play something, it's like, I forgot all about this song. I forgot all about this, and it's like,
Right.
yeah, I remember this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
That's how you become that crazy uncle at the barbecue. Like, watch out! Y'all know about this.
Yeah.
Watch out now.
Let me show you a little thing or
Let me
two.
show you something. You don't know about this. Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I was thinking when I first heard Roxanne on there, like as the DJing or whatever. And I was like, is that the same Roxanne that was singing back, with the Grandmaster Flash and when they had to kind of going back and forth, And I was
That was her against UTFO back.
I mean, yeah, UTFO, yeah.
I can still remember the Roxanne Shante video.
I was like, it is her.
It came out, and she's just there. Her and Marley Marl. She's got the mic, and she's just there, rapping into the mic, rapping in. It's just like. But the first time I heard that track was because I was in Jersey, and we got the WBLS. We could pick up their Mr. Magic show at nighttime because the airwaves were a lot clearer at night.
Oh yeah.
So it was like a world premiere and stuff like that. And she's like, "I'm Shantae," and blah blah blah. She's like, "I'm like, what?" That's the first time I heard the Fat Boys was on there. Public Enemy when they were like the disco. No, Fat Boys when they were Disco 3. Public Enemy when they were back with Spectrum City. Like you would hear all these new artists and stuff that would come on, and it was just like. So you were taping everything, right? And you hate when they talk because they would mess up your tape. It's like, don't talk.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But the first time I heard Public Enemy number one, and my high school, one of my high school buddies brought this up years ago. He was like, he could remember in high school when Public Enemy number one came out, and the first time I heard it, and I was like, these cats are onto something. This is going to be huge. And they were like, you think it's because it was like Public Enemy number one. One was like,
yeah.
And it's like, I'm telling you, they are onto something.
Yeah, they're gonna hit it.
The way they're doing that, it's like Pearson, and the way they're dropping those rhymes, and it's just like, and then they blew up. And he was just like, I can still remember the day you told me that. Like, I didn't believe they were gonna be as big as they actually were. And it was like, you just
see, I tried to tell you.
You know some of the stuff when you hear it, and it makes your hair stand up or something. We've talked about this before. It was like. When that came out, it was just like, this is totally different. And then
you just kind of knew.
It was like that same year Public Enemy came out, and then KRS-One came out with Criminal Minded. And you were like, first time you heard Criminal Minded, you were like,
what
is going on here?
Taking to another level? What's going on?
Criminal Minded, you've been blind. And it's like, whoa, what? You're buying the album and he's blowing up. Yeah, it was some good stuff back then. Run DMC Rules actually got Tougher Than Leather CD last month for like the 10th time for my car. Tougher Than Leather, yeah. Yeah, I had all that Tougher Than Leather. And one of the albums that Run DMC has, I always felt like never really got some of the props it deserved was Raising Hell. I thought Raising Hell had a lot of good stuff on it too. That was one of my favorite Run DMC albums. But Run DMC, they were just, it was kind of interesting. They were the ones that broke through, right? On MTV. They were the first rap video on MTV that got through. And with them getting on, it like opened the door up for other things. But they had to basically get a guitar riff into their rock box.
Yeah.
Picked up to do it because it was just like everybody kept saying, no, you're just not really this. You're just rapping over, you're just doing over this. You're not really. And so they made rock box and that got them in. And then they actually led to more, I think, of that infusion, right? Not just with that, but you also had the Aerosmith.
Right, yeah.
Them. And then on the
I was going to say
King of Rock and things like that, they showed that, they brought together some of the different groups from those that liked rock into hip hop as well. And then, Rick Rubin was like a mastermind in what he did there. It was so funny. I was listening on the radio to Eminem the other day. Eminem was on LL's show on the channel Sirius, and he's talking about the first time he met Rick Rubin. So he met Rick when he was trying to give out like CDs back in the day, trying to get signed on different labels. And Rick had got one of his things, and he was like talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm Rick Rubin." He's like, "You're Rick Rubin?" He's like, "I thought you were black." And Rick Rubin's like, "Well, cool." Like, it was kind of like,
all right.
but Rick Rubin was kind of like, he had the ear for it all. He was like the Beastie Boys, Run DMC, Public Enemy. He just had that ear to know what could be done, and was able to help getting all these groups out there doing stuff. So Rick Rubin was a bad man. Well, is a bad man. He's still alive. So yeah.
Yeah.
But if you got the ear, you got the ear. It doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, the message was huge, because the message was one of the first commentaries on social politics, so to speak. Talking about the inner city, talking about issues being ran into, talking about things like the unemployment people were facing, talking about being harassed by the police. I mean, that was like the first one that became like, that message became like a beacon, so to speak, that led to other stuff actually being said, because it wasn't just about the parties anymore. The message hit on something different.
Right, yeah. Kind of got more real.
Yeah. Although for Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5, one of my favorite songs was still Scorpio. I don't know why, but I love Scorpio.
It's funny you said that, because I remember like when I was little, my brother was just driving. They would play that all the time, and that Scorpio was my favorite. I love that song. I don't know what it was, but I loved it.
I feel like you catch me at the right moment nowadays. You play Scorpio, I'll start pop locking. I'm just saying.
And I asked him about it, and he's like, he barely even remembers. I'm like, seriously? How do you not remember any of this?
Yeah, Scorpio was one of the ones that was like, Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
Start doing that Dave Chappelle dance, with the head move. Yeah, the Roxanne diss. Well, KRS One, The Bridge Is Over, was probably the first diss track that really dissed someone by calling out names. Now, Roxanne did the diss for UTFO, talking about him kind of, but KRS One, when he did The Bridge Is Over, dissing the Juice Crew, that was like one that caught everybody. That was like the pre Biggie and Tupac Jr. Mafia type diss. I mean, that was just like, and then you basically called it that, and it was like a curse in the record. You were like, whoa.
Like, what? Did I just hear what?
Because it was like, people would curse, but they weren't cursing on tracks like that. So it was kind of like, that kind of caught people off guard. But yeah. And what he said about Shantae, which Shantae has on her show before one time, when she first heard that, like, she was mad for a good minute about that, like about the line about her. But yeah, but that's what it did. KRS One knew how to get under your skin. And they still say there's two rappers you don't ever let freestyle in front of you: KRS One and Busta Rhymes. They're like,
I could see that.
They say you never get the crowd back. And people forget LL. LS was good stuff too. LL was pretty solid.
I feel like LL is kind of like one of the few artists, not artists, but like, I guess maybe in the rap genre, that kind of changed with the times. Because I feel like from the first beginning, of hip hop, but he was back in that time, in the 80s, whatever. I feel like until even in the 2000s or whatever his last album was, I feel like it was different and kind of went with the time, sort of, if that makes any sense. Like, it wasn't all the same. It was different.
Well, you look at going back to like Crush Groove, which I think was like 83 or something like that and everything, and that's when he did Radio, and to where he was over the years, going back to Cali and some of the different tracks he had done in between. He just evolved. He evolved with it all.
Right, yeah.
And just kept
better way to say it.
Growing. And when he came out, however many years it was ago, like early 2000s, and it was him, and I think it was Cannabis, Busta Rhymes. They did a 4-3-2-1, and he spit the lines that he spit. It's like, you forgot that LL had that talent. Like, he was able to get raw with any of the guys just like anybody else. And it's like, don't let him fool you with the whole jingling baby stuff. He can still get down into like the street type thing as well too. So, but it's funny because you look at LL and Ice-T. There's a generation of kids out there that just know them from TV shows. Don't even know they were rappers. They know LL from
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
from Law and Order. Like they didn't. They see him singing that. Like why is
Like
he
what?
over
Yeah,
there
what's...
singing? Like he's an actor.
That's true. That is so true.
When Ice-T came out, his first big track really was when he was under Chris Glover. He did a song "Reckless." That was huge. But he did the track for Colors as well, which was huge.
Yeah, Colors.
And he had a distinctive voice when he did it too. Local hip hop station here that blew up the D Block remixes during the late '90s. Nice. My favorite hip hop album is Main Source Breaking Atoms. So I feel like the Large Professor is one of those people that always gets overlooked when you talk about producing tracks out there. But Large Professor with Main Source, yeah, he had a lot of talent. He produced a lot of different artists and stuff too. But in the '90s, we were playing the Main Source as well. Main Source had a lot of good stuff going on. And you also had Gilbert up there in Canada, UMCs. They were from Canada too. Blue Cheese. I remember Blue Cheese. We were playing that like crazy. And I hate to say it, but yeah, we were playing Snow, Informer. Yeah.
Whatever. Look at Boom Boom now. Some.
Nobody knows what he's saying, but he's in cadence. He's on point, so we're going to play it. So yeah, but LL versus Cannabis, that was a good little battle. LL versus Kumo D was one that actually went over a few years because LL and Kumo D went at it for a while. How You Like Me Now was Kumo D's response back to LL.
Yeah, right.
Jack the Ripper was LL against Kumo D. They had a few different ones that they went back and forth, but Kumo D was
they went at it for a little while.
He was another one back in the day. He was kind of before his time because by the time he was older, it kind of went to the next level. But Christmas Rap, Treacherous 3 from B Street, one of my favorite Christmas songs. Everybody talks about Run DMC for the Christmas song. Go back and you watch Christmas Rap with Kumo D and Treacherous 3, and it's just like, that's one of the funniest Christmas songs that came out back then. But yeah, God, I'm like going all through kind of stuff. I need to get back and do the hip hop channel some more. You guys have got me all reminiscent on the stuff I could be sharing over that channel.
Too Short.
I was never a huge Too Short person though.
Really? I like Too Short.
Shrippa Funky I liked. In the Ghetto I liked, but I never really got.
Yeah, in the Ghetto, yeah.
I think for me with Too Short, it got too heavy on his downing of women. I think and a lot of stuff that he was doing that was kind of
I can see
that point. It was just like
I can see that too because he did go a little bit too far on.
But he was a pimp, stuff. So I mean,
that's true. Yeah. So he's bringing life into music.
I can understand why he did it. I just but yeah, listen to some of those guys. Like Ice-T, like I mentioned, his OG album, like OG, the track itself was one of my favorite tracks back in the day off that album. Ice-T had a lot of good stuff that people just may not remember or may have skipped over that he hit on some things. So he had the one with the one album, and I got it in my records here with the cover with the two guns in the guy's head or whatever. That was a good album that he did. It's just
when he had such a distinctive voice too, like you knew who it was. Like you didn't even have to. Like if you knew who he was, you didn't hear them. You never heard the song before, but you knew it was him.
Yeah. You just knew the voice. It's like
the flow, the music, and it was all
If you're not in a room and you hear a commercial, you could just tell automatically it was Morgan Freeman if that's who was talking. It was just that distinct.
Right, yeah, right.
Yeah. Gilbert's at Cannabis all day versus LL. I think LL pretty much handled Cannabis, but, that was just me. Unbelieving, receiving, prophecy still true. I got the head off the devil and throw it at you. Yeah. I never got into Too Short as well. Yeah, just Too Short was just, like on LL's channel, he has a show on Saturday and Sundays. I don't listen to what he's usually on. It's just kind of like he's just on a different thing. Me and him just, you're not going to like everybody. He's just not one that is one of my favorites out there. A couple tracks I like. LL, my first favorite rapper. Drink some donuts and milk. Listen to a pop tune. Yeah. LL had, even to today, I think LL, I think of a love song or love ballad, and people still talk about LL, I Need Love, right? I don't know if there's been any other really hip hop ballad besides LL's I Need Love. I think of the Lost Boys Renee, kind of like something like that, but it wasn't the same. And he was able to be versatile in different ways. And when back in the day, for those of you that don't know, back in the day, MTV used to play music stuff, right? So
at one time,
they used to do Unplugged, which is a series on Sunday night where it was just a singer and a band. And LL went on there one time for Unplugged and ripped it up with the band behind him.
Is that the Ice-T album you were talking about? Yeah, that's
Ice-T album, Power. Is it Power? Which one is that one?
What is that? Freedom of
Speech, yeah.
The Freedom of Speech, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good album that he actually did there. That was one of my favorite. I got that on vinyl in my record collection. And
are you like the new kids now? They don't call them all vinyl.
Yeah, yeah.
Used to be records. That daughter's like, I want some vinyl. And Shannon's like, you mean records? She's like, no, vinyl. I'm like, okay, yeah. That's what you want to call it now, I guess. Which I know it was too at one time, but
really screwed up funny. Screw him up to call it an LP. What? And now what? Yeah. What is it? Oakland has some groundbreaking. Yeah, Oakland has some ground stuff. Tupac. Not Tupac. Tupac actually was from New York, but he was out there in Oakland when he started messing with the digital underground. But you look at Too Short. And Gilbert's, I got 5 on talking about the Loonies. Loonies were out that way.
Yeah, I got 5 on.
As much as I still love, I got 5 on. I feel like it's timeless. I can say anytime. But the remix, I love the remix of I Got 5 on it. I don't know if you ever heard the remix of it. The remix is really good.
I feel like, yeah.
And the Scenario remix is really good too. I don't know why you would need a remix of the Scenario because the Scenario is such a good track, but the remix of it is that much. Well.
Even better.
Yeah. 61 outside here. Your old house 30. Todd must be colder. Yeah. Are you? I think here it's like 50 something.
Let's see. What are we right now? It comes up.
Especially I got 5 on it. It makes me think of. Now it makes me think of the movie where he's like, they're like, I got 5 on it. And he's like, it's a song about drug dealing. He's like, no, it is not. Hammer. Well, the funny thing about Hammer.
It's 31 degrees here right now.
Oh, that is cold. When I was DJing, we had a thing on our station because we were like our main format was alternative. But we had like different shows. So we had like the Urban Diner, which did the hip hop and stuff like that. And it was a house show and different things. But on the hip hop, we would always play non-trendy type hip hop usually. So like underground or, we at that time in the early 90s, you weren't getting a lot of the Run DMC and Black Moon and Main Source, all kind of stuff on the regular radio. So we were okay to play that. But Hammer was like, we wouldn't play Hammer. Like we would get a Hammer record from the studio. And we'd be like third base, like, what do you think about Hammer? And we would break the record on Hammer. Like, you just hear the record crack. Like, we don't play Hammer on the station. Like, I don't know why we were so anti-Hammer, but at the time, it seemed the thing to be. And you had the third base video coming out attacking them and stuff like that. You had other people attacking. It was the commercialization of it because we didn't really want to have hip-hop going commercial because we knew that would be the end of it as we knew it, right? Once commercialization happens. Right. Which ended up being the case. It changes. So we wouldn't play Hammer. We wouldn't play Hammer. We wouldn't play like Vanilla Ice, Ice Baby. We didn't play that. Other stuff that kind of got more into that mainstream kind of
pop music.
Like Fresh Prince. We didn't play a lot of Fresh Prince type stuff either when Will Smith was doing that. So we played some of it, but it wasn't.
I just don't understand what.
Like we wouldn't play that, but we would play like a brand new funk, or we were
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
some of the other stuff that wasn't like the commercial type thing. It's like
Right.
some of the Philly more rougher type stuff. Yeah. But the first time, that's funny. Cypress Hill, that was one of the bands I really enjoyed. I found out about when I was DJing, and my director was like, "Oh, you got to check out this record to play on your show when you get in." And I'm like, "What is it?" He's like, "It's Cypress Hill. We got this group out of California." And I'm like, "What do they do?" Like, he's like, "Trust me." He's like, "Go in there and play how I could kill a man." I'm like, "What?" And I go in there and played it, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is tight." And I was like, so Cypress Hill, like how I could just kill a man in a funky feel one. That was the first two songs I played for them. They were like, I'm like always tied to. Every time I hear that, it just brings me back to that moment. Like
what?
Playing them. Yeah. Yeah. There's times I definitely miss not being a DJ. I got one of my buddies that did it with us. He's still a DJ out in California. He does like a lot of parties and stuff like that and everything, but it's fun. It's a fun time doing it.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
DJing.
He sure loved his niece. Yeah. We used to play a lot of 2 Live Crew back there the day too.
Dude, I was gonna say about 2 Live Crew.
You dropped the bay. We definitely had to play the radio edits for that, but at the parties,
Oh yeah.
At the parties it was definitely uncensored.
Oh, me so horny. They love you long time.
Oh man, Nas floating on D Block is B just said, yeah, Nas, yeah. And like I said, I was when I got to interview Nas back in like '92. I interviewed Nas, and real cool cat. We were his manager had told me how he was going to be like this big thing out there, and I was like, a manager's going to try to hype up people all the time, but it was talking with him, and I wish I had the interview. My buddy that did it with me, I think he still has the tapes, so a lot of that stuff. But sitting with him was cool. Interviewing Busta Rhymes, interviewing Cool G Rap at the time. Cool G Rap was like a godfather of hip hop to me. He's just like back in the late 80s. I mean, some of the stuff that he was putting down, and some of the different artists we got a chance to meet out there. It was cool. It was definitely an experience to sit down with them, because a lot of times you hear these guys on the radio, you don't know what they are in real life, and then you finally get a chance to meet them and talk to them, and you just kick it. Bismarcky, meeting Bismarcky, he was like funny as hell in real life, and he was like huge, like I'm 6'1", but Bismarcky is like 6'6", like, and probably when I met him.
You say 6'6"?
He was tall. Bismarcky
Was he
tall.
really?
Yeah, and he was.
Oh wow.
He was tall and wide. He was a good wide body. Like, you should be in the offensive line somewhere type wide. Like,
Yeah, I was saying I always thought he was big, but I didn't know he was that tall.
But funny, and the coolest cat you can meeting Dougie Fresh and seeing Dougie Fresh actually beatbox live. You're just like, you're in awe as he's doing this stuff, just kind of making these noises and everything. And, it was a fun experience during that time. LL Hammer is certified. Oh, he is certified Oakland.
Yeah.
Hammer, and he had 357. That was his girl group he brought out. 357, breaking on down. I'm trying to think. I think was JJ Fad. Were they Oakland as well with Supersonic?
That's what
I think.
I'm thinking they were.
Too. Yeah.
I'm thinking they were. Let me look that up. I'm gonna look that up and see.
JJ Fad, and we're here to rock and roll. Supersonic. Oh man, you only need one big hit to make it.
Let's see. It says origin Rialto, California.
Okay, I wonder how far it is from Oakland. Then
I don't know. That's got to be.
I thought they were from around that area.
That's got to be.
Ice-T is doing some cholesterol commercials. I tell you what, Big Daddy, if you ever see a commercial where it's him, Stone Cold, and Drew Brees. No, not Drew Brees. Matty Ice. They're doing the Tide commercials, which are pretty funny. Someone put Jay-Z on a bunch of Jay Dilla beats. I'm curious to hear Nas on some lo-fi Dilla type production. Nas can flow. Nas is one of the best lyricists out there too in the hip hop game. Nas new album, really outstanding. Yeah, I did on the reaction channel. I did the one that he did with EPMD, which I really liked, and I need to do more of his tracks on the reaction channel as well. And third base, yeah, third base was. I feel like third base to me, like you had the Beastie Boys, and then you had third base.
Yeah.
Beastie Boys to me were like the first really white rap group, so to speak. But I felt like third base was the first hip hop white group, so to speak, with MC Search and Pete Rock and what they were doing. It's like there's the rap that they were hitting from the Beastie Boys, which was great. But then I felt like Pete and Search were going a little bit deeper and kind of hitting into what hip hop had become as far as storytelling and pointing out the different things, kind of give you a consciousness is what it became. Yeah. So you look at some of the third base tracks off their initial album or off the Cactus album, they have some good lyrics there. Step Into the AM was one of my favorite songs from third base. They just tapped into a lot of stuff, and they weren't afraid to call out some of the stuff they were actually seeing there. I wish they wouldn't have broken up as early as they did. They kind of got their separate ways, and just like a lot of bands, you know, money or egos, whatever it may be, can break you up early. EPMD, I was happy they lasted as long as they did because they were always solid. They broke up for a bit, then they came back together for some stuff, but it's tough. I mean, probably to be with that person all the time because at some point, I guess maybe it becomes an ego thing. Like,
hey, I was gonna say,
the band, yeah,
people want to kind of go to the forefront and like, oh, I can do this on my own. I don't need a group. I can be big by myself or whatever, you know, and just like why screw up a good thing?
And that's
it happens all over though, even you know in rock and whatever. It's all
well, that's one of the things where you had like the Beastie Boys, which made them as great as they were able to keep it together. Run DMC was able to keep it together for the most part. They had some stuff later on, but they were able to overall to keep it together with a lot of the stuff. Even Public Enemy had some different fallouts at different times for different things in the group. It's tough. So it's but third base, they were pretty solid. I mean, and even the stuff they put together, they searched it a project by himself where he had on MF Doom, who was at the time under a different name, and Nas would team up with him on stuff, and they did some pretty good tracks. But yeah, I always like some third base.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. That's a good one. I ain't even thought about third base forever.
JV said, "Wow, never thought I see the day Rajay would join the Curves Club." LOL. Well, I don't have curtains. I do have blinds, but the blinds are up, so you can see the city view. I went with the city view tonight, JV.
There you go.
He said, "Cheers, guys. Just got back from my boys basketball practice." Oh, wow. You're just getting home from that. Yeah. Well, you're an hour behind us, so it's like 9:58 there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But JV had a good show. If y'all haven't checked out JV's Hangout, check him out as well. Last night, they were going through the top bands out of the UK. And it was tough on some of the competition they had on things. And people were definitely expressing their opinions on stuff. And I didn't get a chance to see who ended up winning at the end. But I know the Queen over the Beatles hit some people hard. Yeah, definitely.
Fighting words.
Yeah, but growing up in the world of hip hop back in the day, it was fun. So yeah, I need to get some more stuff going on the hip hop channel as well. Hip hop, that's the Rajay Hip Hop Chronicles. Anybody want to check that out? I need to share some more of that stuff and talk about that, and then some of the reaction stuff too. But there's only so many hours in a day. It's tough.
I was gonna say,
you try to do all these
so many
YouTube channels. Yeah,
it's so many hours.
Yeah, and I like to keep it segmented. I mean, here on this channel, a lot of times tonight's a night we do a lot of interaction, of course, with everybody. But usually it's a beer channel, so people know to expect beer here. They got the other channels to do the other stuff. But I will tell you, speaking of beer, this one was all finished, and this one was very good. I would definitely recommend if you are a Belgian style fan. And tonight was all Belgian. So again, this was the Amagang Abbey Ale Double. You can see a review on the channel that I did for this before, but always a nice beer.
They do good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully these Bourbon counties actually mount up to be worth it. So we'll see. I think these are the most I've ever spent on any Bourbon County beer.
I was gonna say, yeah, you don't usually go too far out for those.
Yeah.
Although they raised their prices on most of their stuff on their variants for sure.
Probably from the hype and everything. Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it was so much fun going to do U.S. bands next. You're always welcome to join. Yeah, I'll be interested to see the U.S. bands you do. The only thing I was going to say last night, I'm like, what? The Monkees didn't make the pick. The Monkees weren't in there. I mean, the Monkees had a TV show in the States. How are they not one of the bands to be on the board at least? I'm just saying. I grew up watching the Monkees as a kid. Ice-T has a commercial where he's power walking with middle-aged women, though. I think the best Ice-T commercial is still the Geico one. Or the Geico one with Ice-T.
Yeah.
Yeah, Digital Underground, very solid. Had the R.I.P. Shock G. Had a chance to meet him back in the 90s as well, and talk with him and interview him, and cool cat. But yeah, I've got this Sex Packets album on vinyl as well, and
that's a good one.
I remember when that came out. It was like, yeah, that was the Do What You Like, and of course the Humpty Dance was on that one. But yeah, that's a fun album. Beasties are badass for sure. Yeah, I definitely love the Beastie Boys. I got their original album also on vinyl. I still like going back and listening to some of the original stuff from them. I always say with the Beastie Boys, the Paul's Boutique is probably the most underrated album in their catalog. That album is a great album, and I think people slept on it when it came out. But a lot of great tracks on that one. Only one beer left, dude. Just tie all Rock channels together. LOL. Yeah. I just decided the top 60 UK bands for the 60s, 70s, and that was I bet it was. Yeah, I'm just joking. It was just funny. I was going to mention it last night. Like, what? How are the Monkees not on here? The Monkees had a TV show, man.
Right.
MC Surge can't dance better than Hammer, like he thought. No, I'm not saying he can't dance better than Hammer. You are correct. But the rhymes were more on point for what I like. Anybody else remember Blind Fury? Dude was gonna rap battles. I don't remember Blind Fury.
Yeah, that didn't ring any bells either.
Yeah, but yeah, you guys take me down hip hop road. I can go down the hip hop road for like
for days,
hours. Yeah, you just don't even know. Like some of the stuff you listened to back in the day, some of the tracks, some of the history there. I mean, just it's crazy. It's crazy. Just some of the stuff there. I mean, just stuff that people don't even know about nowadays. Their influence. Some of the samples.
I was gonna say a lot of sampling of from back in the early, 80s, 70s, even before then, before like hip hop, I guess. Before And
like Pete Rock, CL Smooth, they reminisce. That was like a classic back in the day.
Good times.
Yeah. Now I feel like we're getting older.
I was gonna say. My bad thing is, like, yeah, I remember that 30 years ago. Like, wait, what? 30 years ago? Like, damn.
I'm more closer to the get off my lawn guy than up in the club.
You're right.
Yeah. But
it's funny.
No, but it was funny watching Joey from Square Table, because he had a couple weeks ago, he had on one of the tag team MCs was on there.
Oh, really?
So that was a cool interview and stuff like that they were doing. Joey gets great people. He gets a lot of WWE former stars and different stuff too. He has some great guests on his channel.
Huh, that's cool.
Very nice when he does the interviews and stuff. So, He's like a poor man's Joe Rogan. He sits there smoking his weed and interviewing people.
Poor man's Joe Rogan.
God, that guy's kind of found himself in all kinds of shit.
He's good at that.
Yeah.
He's always kind of at the forefront of that.
The only British band that matters is Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd did well for a while last night. I don't know where they finished, if they ended up winning it all, but he is Pink Floyd, the group, was definitely there. The Chronic, one of my favorite back in the day. Well, The Chronic, many hold as one of the top rap albums of all time. A lot of people think that's one of the best
Chronic,
rap albums ever done. So it's definitely up there.
Yeah, I'd put it up there for sure too.
Yeah, before weed, beer was really lyrical therapeutic juice. So many beer references and lyrical names. Yeah. Well, I remember Ice Cube. Ice Cube pretty much made St. Ides a popular drink. And then when he broke off with them, St. Ides started like seeing their sales drop. God, Ice Cube. That song he had, Wicked, I had a mix that I would do on the radio back in the day for Wicked. I love that song. And people were like, you can call in and do the Wicked mix so I can record it. Like, that's weird when people call you and ask you so they can tape it, like when you do it. Like,
he's like, Casey Kasem.
Get Wicked. Yeah. Cube had a distinctive voice, though, too. So, yeah. That jacking for beats. Give me that beat, fool. It's the full time.
Yeah, Cube, he's one of my favorites.
Pink Floyd made our top 4 spot. I agree. Pink Floyd is one of the best for sure. Pink Floyd was and still are one of the best ones to listen to. I can just drift off listening to Pink Floyd. We are old, but we keep listening. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say we are old.
True.
Was it? Well, I was thinking the Pat Benatar line. We are old. Was it? We are. No, it's we are young. Pat Benatar.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Heartache to heartache or whatever. He's a Rogan. Yeah. Just jumped on, but you have mentioned have you mentioned Wu-Tang's Enter the 36? No, I have not mentioned Wu-Tang Enter the 36. Although that in itself, at the time that came out, that was groundbreaking. So I can remember coming home, me and my wife at the time, we were dating in college, and we came back to her house for like one of the breaks, and her little brother was like, have you played this yet? Have you heard this yet? Like, I got this new thing called Wu-Tang or whatever. I had not heard it yet. So he was like, what? Oh, you got to come here right now. Right now. You can tell. And he started playing it. I mean, it was just like, you sit down and just like, I know, just blowing your mind with the stuff coming out. And if you ever get a chance to watch the documentaries that were done about the Wu-Tang and how
that's the one on Hulu.
It wasn't one. I don't know if it was one on Hulu or the Hulu was one with actors, I think.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
There's one that was narrated that was done with the actual group, and like RZA.
Oh, okay.
RZA was talking about how he built the group. It's really an interesting type paradigm. So RZA pretty much built the group without any of the group really knowing who was going to be in the group. He pretty much knew these different rappers from different spots. And he pretty much got them to come on board, and he told them, you come on board, we're a group, but at the same point, you'll get your solo aspect as well, and we'll back you up. So everybody came in, knew they would get their own album, but they would be a part of this ensemble as well. And he built each of them into it, and then they controlled their own distribution. So they started selling their stuff out of the back of cars, their trunks, going to parties, and they kept everything to themselves. And it's a magnificent story of how they built up to everything and kept control for themselves as they did so. But the whole idea of how he put like ODB with, Method Man and with Jizza and with Ray Kwan, all these guys that didn't really all know each other. It was just, but he knew how he could make the parts work. It's really interesting.
What is that? What is that on anything like Netflix or anything? Or
I don't know if it might be on YouTube. Let me see here. I saw it one time. I think it was on Cinemax. Or,
I'd like to watch that. Pretty good.
Showtime or something. It was like a documentary. Let's see it on here. It might have been Wu-Tang Clan of Mics and Men. That was 2019 on YouTube. You actually can see it on YouTube here. Let me see if I can get the link and put it in here. Nope, that's going to do it the wrong way. So let me do it like this.
I started watching a little bit of the Hulu series. Then I kind of got away from it, and I haven't picked it back up since.
All right, so I just put a link in there for YouTube Watch. I think that is the one for Wu-Tang.
Oh, okay.
So you can watch it on YouTube, but it's just a interesting way that they got put together. And it was just genius in how RZA did it, because he pretty much did everything here to get them all together and to create what is Wu-Tang. And I remember the first time seeing Method Man Bring the Pain, like that video. I was like, it kind of blew my mind. Like the whole, I don't know what it was, but the whole thing on like the bus when they're doing it, it just sounded like it was raw. It was just something different about how it was put together and everything. And then you start seeing the other videos roll out from different members of the crew.
Right. Yeah.
I still say, to me, I think the best one is the video they did with the bees. Shit, what's the name of the song now? I can't remember the name of the song.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what the name of the song is.
Triumph. Triumph is one of my favorite ones from them. As far as their tracks, to me, that's kind of the top one. I can get into Mystery of Chess Boxing, but I like the Triumph track probably the best. I just feel like it hits on all their skill sets on different stuff.
Because it was a good range.
Yeah.
Between the group, it was like all over.
Yeah.
Pretty much hit it all.
So no one is cool with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is cool. Snoop Dogg, what did I watch with Snoop Dogg the other day? He had an interview and he was talking about Tupac. And he was saying when Tupac met Nas. So Tupac and Nas had a beef. And they were somewhere in New York or whatever. And Tupac rolled up, or he was with Tupac. Nas rolled up. And Tupac was saying something to him. And Nas was like, I got no beef with you or whatever. He's like, I love you or something like that, blah, blah. And it's like, Tupac thought he had kind of like punked Nas or whatever. And Snoop was like, nah. He's like, Tupac, he's like, Nas, let us go. Like, he saw the people with Nas and they were like, they were with him, but you didn't know they were with him. Like, you could see them like had their hands on their gun type situation. It was kind of like, he was like, nah, that's
okay.
That was one of the times when Snoop started getting away from Death Row Records and stuff. So with all of them, but which is interesting now that Snoop actually owns Death Row. So
yeah. They just bought. Was it Super Bowl or right before?
Yeah. Which Suge was like a human pit bull walking around anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, Wu-Tang are legends. Bring the Pain. Yeah. Well, Bring the Pain, Cream. Just the different tracks they've done, not even just on the group, just on the individual levels as well. Thanks for coming by last night talking. Oh, definitely, JV. She said to James, thanks for coming by. It was a great show you guys had. Showtime, I think. Yeah, it was Showtime that I watched as well. And that link that I put in there was the Showtime video. Talking about the Wu-Tang Club. Wu-Tang. I was like a child stumbling into a movie and bugging the adults to explain the plot. Everyone forgot Redman again. I did not forget Redman. We just didn't talk Redman. But like they got that T-shirt. It goes Reggie, right? Reggie first. So Reggie Noble. Listen, you talk about a guy that's underrated and out of New Jersey, represent my home state. It's Redman. Redman, some of the lyrics that you got on his stuff that you're still getting nowadays are still some great rap lyrics he has out there. So I can't even tell you how many times I played Time for Some Action Red Hot Lovers, just different stuff that he had actually done from back in the day. I've got Redman on vinyl too, so much love for Redman. Chariot of Fire. What's up, Jeff? Great to see you too, homie. Some of the neighbor has snowblower out now. Why the snowblower now? Are you getting snow there? Albums, not songs. We're all over, Jeff, so no worries there.
Yeah.
I'm okay at cheers. Terrible at boxing. At chess, terrible at boxing. Yeah, it's the mystery of chess boxing. Oh, we got the Russians in the house. What's up? Y'all still trying to steal medals? What's going on? Triumph shocks the place. Yeah. Yeah, Triumph. I mean, it's just to hear the song and even to see the video. The video is just, it was one of the more on point type things for Wood. I just feel like you can play it at any point and it just still gets you hype. Two people I want to meet, Snoop and Willie. Well, it's going to be a smoky meeting. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Wasn't it
Yeah,
something
you
like
better.
before, like something like Snoop said, Will, like people wonder if Snoop or Willie, who could outsmoke who, and I think Snoop said Willie can outsmoke him with no problem. Like,
I was gonna say that probably wouldn't even be close.
yeah, Willie's got
It'd have to be a well-vended place for sure.
Yeah. If you had, man, could you imagine if you had Willie and Snoop and like Be Real from Cypress Hill in one room? I mean, whew, just the contact buzz alone.
He'd like a mile away going, what the hell is going on? Where's that coming from? Like a whole city over.
Yeah. Blackout Method, Redman at the same time. Yeah, yeah. What you think about duos that could have been super duos, but they never really were actually a duo, Method Man and Redman, when they team up on stuff.
Yeah.
I remember when they made the Rock Wilder, and that came out, and people were like, "Why is it only so short? Like it was only like 2 minutes and 50 seconds or something like that." And basically, Redman didn't think it was that great of a track or whatever, and people were like, "What?" Like it blew your mind on that one there.
He's like, yeah,
he's
whatever.
Like, yeah, so
We can do better.
Pulled the cord on it, but it ended up being this great track they actually had done. I could just sit in the bus. Yeah, you would. I think you sit in the bus. You probably wouldn't want to move afterwards. You'd probably be so high already.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or dead. The contact buzzes of all contact buzzes.
I get so high, so high. Yeah, that would be a hell of a contact buzz that you would get from those. Well, this has been fun reminiscing about some of the old hip hop world. So I'll have to update the hip hop channel with some of the different things too. You guys maybe get the wheels turning there. I know Blake has always asked me to keep updating stuff because he loves the Hip Hop Chronicles page. It's just finding the time.
It's a good page, yeah. When you have a chance to do them.
Yeah, B.I.G. Ready to Die. That was definitely a great album as well. A lot of people will say like they're saying top rapper like B.I.G. or Tupac. They're not top for me. They're not top like two, I should say. I mean,
yeah.
A lot of people will put them up, and it's like there's a lot of good stuff they have done. It's like there's so many people that people don't know about that get passed over, like or get skipped over, that it makes it tough. I think the more that you know from a universe, just like with beer, the tougher it is. Like if you didn't know as many, you're thinking, well, easily they could be in the top thing. But when you look at some of the lyrical stuff done by some of the other artists that are out there, it's tough to try to say what was what. Because even some of the B.I.G. stuff, I can't say I listened to his album 100%. There's some tracks I skipped through because they're not as great to me.
Didn't grab you.
They don't really like, and I could put stuff out there from like Gangstar and Guru that'll be like blow your mind. Well, some of the stuff that he actually said and some of the stuff he did, or Rakim with Eric B. and Rakim, it's not like it's just like you can't just skip over some of these other guys that have done some great stuff out there as well.
I still say Rakim as far as like a lyricist goes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at I look at lyricists or hip hop, like kind of MC. I mean, I've got like Karis one. I've got Rakim.
Yeah.
I've got for me Nas. Nas is up there. Busta Rhymes. And see, people skip over Busta Rhymes, but if you ever listen to some of the Busta Rhymes, the tracks that he's done from the time Leaders of the New School up to now, some of the freestyle type stuff, his talent is unmatched out there for a lot of people. I mean, he's got the ability to go from the slow to the ultra quick, like a tongue twister type style.
I was gonna say, yeah, he can get so fast where you don't even know what the hell he's
and he can
put
still
work
do
together
to hit the cadences and the enunciations and the way to do different things. I mean, the breath control that he uses makes him one of the top ones out there as well. So it's kind of like the NBC commercial. The more you know, the tougher it becomes, so to speak. So
true.
yeah. Well, he said the only death from weed was when a bell fell on a fellow, right? Wasn't a weed's fault. Guy was in the wrong spot. And Eastside, see y'all next time. All right, James. Good to see you again,
James.
long friend. Hello, Jeff. Call it a wild. Take care. Lord Finesse, yeah. R.I.P. Lord Finesse, another one. Yeah, Digital Underground we were talking about earlier as well, which I had a chance to meet Shock G back in the day. Some people don't even realize, didn't even know, like Tupac started out as one of their dancers back in the day. With them. So there's a lot of talent. There's names out there that people just don't even know or see or may come across because they just didn't blow up a certain way. Oh no, Jeff, it's all good, brother. It's all good. Digital Underground now. We were talking about the Sex Packets album. That was a good album when they came out with that there. And they were a nice little, what they did, they were a nice little fun group. And with them, they really became like the Funkadelic. They brought back P-Funk and all kind of stuff and stuff they were doing, which was cool. So a lot of people that didn't know George Clinton and the stuff they had done, they were really sampling a lot of that stuff back into the music. Yeah. And that brought back their career and stuff. So,
well, Cube did the same thing a little bit too.
Yeah, well, he went full bop gun with George Clinton, so yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of LA sound, they like a lot of that funk out there in LA. They did back in the 90s too. So that was the cool thing. Different parts of the country had their own different things going on. And, we're just talking about all this stuff, but and all the time we talked about this stuff, like no one's brought up the South, right? Like no one's brought up Outkast. No one's brought up, no one's brought up Goody Mob. No one's brought up Master P. No one's brought up like the Ghetto Boys in Texas. No one's brought up like Sir Mix-a-Lot in Seattle. I mean, there's so many different sounds that were out
That's
there.
True, yeah.
Just
from different regions.
You can't get them all in. You just can't get them all in. There's just so many good things that were coming out, which was the cool thing about hip hop. You were getting these different feels that were coming out. It wasn't just New York and then later California. There was other stuff here, you know.
Yeah.
When Master P came out was saying, and everybody was like,
say, ice cream man.
Everybody was all on that. Yeah. But I mean, you look at Outkast and you look at Elevators and you look at Bombs Over Baghdad and you look at the stuff they had actually done, which was incredible in itself. And they had to push themselves out there to finally get noticed. Yeah, Dungeon Family, another one. Yeah. And Goody Mob. I mean, Goody Mob is where CeeLo started. People don't realize that. CeeLo was part of the Goody Mob before he went to a solo career. So I could hear Laura asking Arkansas. Yeah, so well, I think we're at the witching hour, 11:24.
Nope.
If I don't break it off now, I'll keep going. Next thing you know, we'll be talking about Egyptian Lover and all kinds of shit. Egyptian Lover. Yeah, I remember that song too. Strafe and set it off on the left. Started. Set it off. I can go back and back and back. But thanks for everybody tuning in. This was fun. I was going to do some different stuff tonight, and I didn't get a chance to because I went to the motor vehicles to get my new driver's license, which is weird in Maryland because they mail it to you. So you don't get it there. They give you a temporary paper to keep your regular license from where you moved in. And for the first time, I actually see why people complain about going to a motor vehicle. It wasn't bad because I had an appointment. So I had to wait a little bit of time, but it was still not as bad. But there were like just people all over. Like where in Kentucky, it was just like you went in, I need a new license, you got a line, you took a picture, and you were out. Didn't work that way here. So
yeah, they always talk about Disney World or Disneyland being the greatest place on earth. I feel like you haven't been to get your license before because that's got to be the best place on earth. I mean, there's so many happy people in there.
I felt like I was at a
I think a requirement to work there is you just have to be pissed off at the world. It doesn't matter.
I felt like we were at a bus station. I'm like, oh, where are you traveling to today? It was just the people hanging out there. Everybody kind of looked miserable too. So
yeah, it's like you say hi, you said hi the wrong way, and they're pissed. What do you mean by that? I'm just saying hi. What do you mean?
Well, you know what
Okay.
the funny thing was, and appreciate that, Jeff. I always appreciate the likes as well. So in Maryland, when you move in, and especially if you're over 40, you're supposed to take like a vision test when you move in to make sure your eyes and stuff are all good and everything like that. So I went to get my license, went through everything like that, and she's like, "Oh, you're all good," and everything like that and everything. So I was like, "Okay, well, I got to go look about getting the car title, which I need to." I went over there, I had to go back in because I didn't have the right paperwork for something. But I asked another lady, like, "Am I supposed to take a vision test?" She's like, "Yeah, you take a vision test when you come in." And I was like, "Well, I didn't take. Like, am I supposed to?" Like, she's like, "Yeah, she didn't give you a vision test over there." I'm like, No. But she's like, well, you're supposed to. I'm like, well, I'm all done now, so I'm leaving. So, but it's like,
yes, she said I was good, so I'm out.
like,
See ya.
She's like, well, I guess you thought you were fine then or whatever. So I'm like, yeah. I mean, I guess. I was cracking jokes and talking to her when she was doing stuff. So I guess she liked me. And it was like, yeah, go ahead. Here you go. Here's your new license.
Yeah, you're fine.
Like, I'm not going back now to take a vision test. I'm done. You missed your opportunity.
On the way out, you pick up your sunglasses and your cane and then just start walking like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. But it was funny because my wife, she has to go get hers, but she had like the vision thing, which you guys, when you were here, I think we talked about. But it's kind of like, she was like, well, I didn't go because I thought I'd take a vision test. And like, well, she didn't give me a vision test. But it said on the website, you got to take one. I'm like, it says that, but I have to take
yeah,
one.
I didn't have to.
I was like, I told you should come, but you didn't want to come.
That's when he said, oh, you know who I am. You've heard of me before, haven't you? It's like usually it's in beer form, but okay, I'll do this in ad test too if you want.
I'm taking any hookup where I can find it at this point.
Right. I'm the new guy in town. I'll take it where I can get it.
But you get your new license at $72. So in Maryland, you get a license for 8 years, which is before it was like, I think 3 or 4 in Kentucky. And your first time in there's like an extra fee on there. After that, it's like $48 or something like that and everything. But I was like, $72. She's like, yeah, but you get it for 8 years and it's the fee and blah, blah, blah.
8 years.
But I'm like, okay. But then it's like, you know, but it was just funny. Like I didn't take the vision test. So not that I was worried about taking the vision test. It was just funny. Like, you know, I was
that you didn't have to take it.
I didn't have to take it. I did was skirt by that. And that made my wife like kind of mad. Like, what? I could have went then if you didn't take it. So, don't tell you.
Yeah, but you didn't.
That's why I said you should go just in case. Yeah. DMV Metropolitan Area, whole day. Yeah, here you got to set an appointment, which is nice. So my appointment was like at 5:45. Ran a little bit late, so by the time I saw it was like 6. So it was only 15 minutes, so it wasn't terrible. But if you go without an appointment, I can see you sitting there all day long. There's really a YouTuber where Snoop talks about how Willie was the only man to ever outsmoke him. Oh, see, so yeah, I heard someone about Snoop about getting outsmoked by Willie, but you can't fuck with Willie. Willie's got the age on you. He's got the knowledge. Yeah. Renew a CD, all you have to like 10-page of documents. It's funny because she asked me like, do you want like just a Class C license? I'm like, class like motorcycle. Like, oh, I don't drive a motorcycle or anything like that and everything. But yeah, just a regular thing. But yeah, they had a CDL you could have got there too. Which I saw a truck back into a space the other day on YouTube, and I'm like, truckers got some skills, man. Because I would have been like, fuck it, I can't.
Oh yeah,
this kind of bitch, yeah.
I can do good and back my car up, let alone a big old semi-trailer.
I'm gonna need y'all to bring it outside because I can't park here, you know. So yeah, All right, Gilbert Knight, my friend, and Canadian Truckers.
See you, Gilbert.
Baltimore. They won't come in this. The states are a little bit different. I don't think when they come to Baltimore, they all see the wire. So
Kevin, staying away.
yeah. Oh, all right, everybody. Let's see, and I had to attest to anti-human trafficking. What? Well, nobody's for human trafficking. Yeah, but that's funny. That was on a forum there. So she was like, "Oh yeah, did you want to be an organ donor on your thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, throw it in there. Why not? You know, I don't know what you better get out of it by the time I'm done, but
right. No, this ain't good. This ain't good either.
I wouldn't look for the.
Never mind.
I wouldn't look for the liver. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Bypass on that.
All right, y'all. We're gonna jump out of here. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. And always fun, always great being here with you guys, and look forward to catching up with you guys next week. Y'all have a great night, and we'll talk to y'all soon.
Have
Cheers,
a good one.
everybody.
Cheers.